Commission meeting for October 9th, 2025. Good to see all of you here. We are going to begin this meeting with our recognitions. Our mayor is going to kick off the recognition portion of this meeting. I'm joined here by my colleague, Commissioner Damian Pardo, and Commissioner Ralph Rosado, and myself, Chairwoman Christine King. Morning. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As always, privilege and an honor to share the dais with all of you. Wanted to start today on a little bit of a somber note, which is that we had 2 officers today that were shot in the line of duty this morning. I've gotten a lot of phone calls and text messages. They're both okay. They're in stable condition. One was shot in the knee, the other one in the ankle, and thankfully they're okay. So I just wanted to have a moment of silence, and I understand the chairs having the person who's doing the invocation also say a special prayer for them. So please keep them in your prayers today. We know the kind of risks that our first responders take on a day-to-day basis, and we're very blessed to have the best police force in America. We're going to start with proclamations, and then we have some keys to the city that we're going to be giving some very special people. Today, we have a very special proclamation for Giancarlo Canella. I don't know if Giancarlo's here. I haven't seen him. Are you here, buddy? There he is. Ricky, also known as Ricky. Giancarlo is Miami-born. That's what we love about him. Award-winning singer, songwriter, actor, songwriter, producer. A remarkable career in television and music and film and philanthropy. He's someone who's made history by topping the Billboard charts in 2010 with his debut album, Búscame, which was followed by multiple #1 albums and a Diamond certified hit, Bajito, in 2016, contributing to a discography that includes numerous gold and platinum records across Latin America. Beyond his music, he has risen to international acclaim through leading roles in Spanish-language telenovelas. You look like a telenovela star, buddy. I got to tell you. You do. I won't tell you what the director of a movie here in Miami said that I look like. Such as Más sabe el diablo. Interesting title. Mi corazón insiste. Another interesting, very telenovela-ish. Very telenovela-ish. And Pasión prohibida. I mean, that's amazing. You can't make this up. This is as telenovela as it gets. And then he debuted as Jesus Christ in Fox's live musical, The Passion, in 2016. And he's expanded his reach through Netflix, ABC, Paramount Plus, Sony Pictures, Productions, etc. He's worked alongside stars as Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson. And he has collaborated with a variety of different industry legends to reach an audience of over 14 million followers across social media platforms. That's impressive. I know how hard that is. He's deeply committed to philanthropy and community empowerment. He's served as creative director of Miami's historic Olympia Theater, so we're looking for his continued help in making that the jewel that we know that it should be. And spearheaded the transformative Amelia District project in Hialeah, a development blending housing, education, entertainment, and youth empowerment. So on behalf of our colleagues on the City Commission, today we get to declare Giancarlo Canella Day in the city of Miami.
Well, I'll keep it short and sweet. I just want to thank our commissioners, mayor. I want to thank everyone here, President, Madam Chair. All those accomplishments, they're just a reflection of the community that believed in me, those that that don't believe in you along the way. They just create a circumstance where you have to rise to the occasion. It's sharpened my self-belief further, and the passion I do everything with. It's a reflection of a family that sacrificed for me to be here today in front of you, and a city that has never stopped inspiring me. This city raised me. It shaped my heart, my culture, my purpose, and I promise to keep representing it to the best of my abilities in every opportunity that I get. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good morning. So this year, 2025, marks the 130th anniversary of the Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church of Miami. Incorporated and founded in 1895 by Bahamian pioneer Reverend Samuel A. Sampson and 56 faithful believers in the historic community of Coconut Grove. Macedonia is recognized as the first black church on the South Florida mainland organized by blacks, serving as a beacon of faith and resilience through generations and throughout its history. Macedonia has been blessed with visionary pastoral leadership from Reverend Sampson, who organized the 56 Baptist Church, to Reverend Dr. J.A.F. Finlayson, who completed the present edifice and built a national legacy, to Reverend Philip Cooper, Reverend Arthur Jordan, Reverend Rudolph Daniels, and now Reverend Lance B. Bailey Sr. Macedonia has consistently stood as a center of worship, education, civic leadership, and community service, supporting youth development, championing civil rights, providing family enrichment, and partnering with organizations to uplift the community. The church's heritage is deeply intertwined with the story of Miami itself, shaping the cultural, civic, and spiritual fabric of our city and our county. The City of Miami proudly recognizes and commends Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church of Miami, Incorporated, for its 130 years of service, honors its founders, pastors, and members, and celebrates its enduring role as a cornerstone of faith, hope, and unity in South Florida.
Well, good morning. Mrs. Whittle, do you want to talk?
No, right? I speak 52 weeks. Again, we say good morning to everybody, to all of the city officials. We say thank you for all of your efforts and support that you've given us over these 130 years. We were existing even before City of Miami was, so we celebrate that proudly. And we continue to fight in our community to support our brothers, our sisters, any national walk of life. We are here in Coconut Grove. We're celebrating. Our famous motto is, we're like a tree planted by the rivers of water on Douglas and Charles. We shall not be moved. And so we thank you. We pray continuously for the city of Miami. God bless you.
No, and I'm going to be very brief. As the 130th anniversary chairperson, we want to invite everyone to please join us in our closeout celebration on October 26th, 11 a.m. You will be in for a treat. Thank you and good morning.
I'll just say it's an honor as the district commissioner to be part of this community. It's an honor to know the work you do in the community. It's so important. And I can tell you that on behalf of the mayor and all of the commissioners, we couldn't be just more proud to celebrate your 130th. Thank you.
So this is sort of a dual one, because I was intending to give this person the key to the city, and the commissioner was intending to give them a proclamation. And so I said, why don't we just do it at the same time? Save her another trip. Yes, you. And today we're going to recognize several people who have had just a tremendous impact on our city. Whether it's from small business, whether it's from the development community, whether it's from the educational, institutional community. We have some special people in Miami. We have a lot of special people in Miami. And I think part of what makes us so unique and incredible is the special people that we have in our city. I'm blessed to lead this city thanks to your support, thanks to your trust, really. And I go out there pitching the city all the time, here in the U.S. and abroad. And I have to say that it's easy because we have such an exceptional offering to pitch to people. And it is based on the incredible work of so many of us together, coming together as a community. And I'm going to recognize a former commissioner who's in the audience in a little while, because he's part of another ceremony that we're having, and his lovely wife, who's been a dear friend for so many years, and a mentor. He's been a mentor to me. But today, first, we're going to recognize someone who's behind me. And, you know, she filled big shoes. And sometimes it's hard to fill big shoes. But she has done it with so much poise, so much grace. She's so articulate. She is, I don't think I've met too many people who can take an idea and execute on the idea faster or better or more efficiently than Madeline Pumariaga. Not to mention the fact that she also has to run an incredibly critical educational institution for our community. It's the democratizing educational institution of our community. And so many incredible and prestigious people have gone through that institution. But to have a steward like her, to have a person like her, who fights day in and day out to make this the best institution possible, and who goes beyond that, because now she's become the premier steward of cultural facilities in our community, with the Freedom Tower. I don't know how many of you seen, show of hands, the Pedro Pang exhibit in the Freedom Tower. You guys got to see that. $25 million investment in the Freedom Tower, totally restored. Pedro Pang, anyone who went to Pedro Pang, and even if you're not Cuban, it's just an incredible understanding of what a people will do to keep their children safe, away from tyranny, and in a free country. It's an exceptional story. Also, a FIFA museum. Also, we just worked with her on the Gusman, which we were just talking about with Giancarlo. And hopefully some other projects that we'll have an opportunity to work with her, because she is a phenomenal steward. She goes beyond the job. And I consider her a personal friend, and I'm very blessed to call her a friend, and I am very blessed to give her the key to the city today. Madeline Pumariaga.
So we're also presenting Madeline Pumariaga this proclamation. She has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to preserving and uplifting the rich heritage of the Hispanic community. She has distinguished herself as a visionary leader, educator, and champion for the South Florida community, dedicating her life to the advancement of education, civic engagement, and the celebration of Hispanic culture. Ms. Pumariaga was the first female and Hispanic chancellor of the Florida college system. The first of many firsts. She is the first female to serve as the president of Miami-Dade College, one of the largest educational institutions in the country. She has worked tirelessly to expand access, equity, and opportunity for countless students and families across South Florida. Ms. Pumariaga was previously the president and CEO of Take Stock in Children, a statewide nonprofit focused on breaking the cycle of poverty by helping students complete their high school education and advance into post-secondary education and careers. She spearheaded the renovation of the Freedom Tower, a National Historic Landmark, that housed one of Miami's first newspapers before serving as a resource center for hundreds of thousands of Cubans who fled communism and sought asylum in the United States. The Freedom Tower, a beacon of hope and a symbol of freedom for Cuban exiles and immigrants, will begin its next chapter as a fully revitalized space for learning, creativity, and community engagement. Under her direction, Miami-Dade College partnered with the City of Miami Police to establish a mini-station dedicated to the newly created Eastern District, which consolidates the vertical communities of Brickell, Downtown, and Edgewater, enabling Miami to scale public safety efforts by employing drones, officers on foot, bikes, horses, ATVs, and patrols. Under the guidance of Ms. Pumariega, Miami-Dade College will serve as a higher education partner with Olympia Theater, offering dual enrollment programs and developing pathways from art-based programs to college degrees. Olympia Theater will support Miami-Dade College cultural programming by hosting events like the Miami Film Festival and the Book Fair, and providing dedicated studio space for students. Madeline Pumariega's life and career embody the values of perseverance, inclusivity, and service beyond her professional achievements. Ms. Pumariega's personal dedication to mentorship, philanthropy, and community service has inspired and empowered countless individuals to pursue their back to their communities. So we're honored on behalf of the mayor and all of the commission to present this proclamation. Of course.
I just want to add one thing to what the commissioner said, which was an incredibly eloquent presentation. I forgot something, and I want to be comprehensive. She also partnered with us with MIA, which is the Miami Innovation Academy, which was a charter school based on innovation with Miami-Dade College. So again, she goes beyond the four corners of the job. The great leaders always do. They don't just stop at the border. They do what they have to do to have the greatest impact. And this is a person that's had an incalculable positive impact on our community.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mayor, commissioners, friends. I'm humbled, and only by the grace of God. It is only by the grace of God that a young girl from immigrant parents that walked through the Freedom Tower and processed through the Freedom Tower, raised in a humble home in Hialeah where you slept in a pim-pam-poom because your aunts and uncles came and you worked hard and came to Miami-Dade College on a basketball scholarship, a daughter of a school teacher and of a banker. Only through the grace of God in this great country do you get to live in a city, in a community that you grow and that you grow with. Only could I have dreamt that girl at Filer Junior High would one day be holding the key of the 305. That I wear so proudly. Our city, our community is made of us, of people just like all of us here that every day wake up in the grit and the grind to make our community better, to provide opportunities that were provided to all of us, and to continue to shine the light on the great people of Miami and the great community of Miami. So thank you, and God bless each of you.
So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're now here. I apologize I'm late, but I want to honor a very special person, an entertainer, and somebody that has supported a lot to my community, to Alapata, District 1. I want to call up here Amara La Negra Day. We are presenting
Commissioner Gabella has just come from the scene that we talked about where the officers were shot, and this is tough for him, but I'm going to help him through this because we are recognizing Amara La Negra Day, and I'm going to read this for you. Whereas Amara La Negra, born Diana de los Santos on October 4th, in Miami, Florida, is a Dominican-American singer, actress, philanthropist, author, and television host who has risen to prominence for her unapologetic pride in her Afro-Latina identity. And whereas Amara began her entertainment career at just 4 years old, 4 años, tienes 4 años, practicar español, help me, on Univision's Sábado Gente, where she performed for 6 consecutive years, later showcasing her talent as a backup dancer for Latin music legends including Celia Cruz, Gloria Estefan, and Tito Puente. And whereas in 2018, Amara achieved national recognition as the breakout star of VH1's Love and Hip Hop Miami, where she became a powerful advocate for Afro-Latina representation, sparking national conversations about colorism, natural hair, and cultural pride, earning recognition from Billboard as the show's standout talent. And whereas beyond entertainment, Amara has dedicated herself to philanthropy and community impact, launching the Las Royal Twins Foundation in 2021 in honor of her twin daughters to support families and single mothers through resources, mentorship, and community programming. And whereas Amara is also a 2-time children's book author, uplifting young readers through work such as Amarita's Way, which promotes self-love, confidence, and cultural pride. And whereas continuing her growth as an entrepreneur, Amara has expanded into fragrance with her release of Eternal Beauty 2025, further solidifying her influence across arts, culture, business, and community service. And whereas through her artistry, philanthropy, and advocacy, Amara La Negra exemplifies the vibrant spirit of Miami, serving as an inspiration to women, mothers, and young people everywhere. Whereas Amara La Negra currently hosts the Univision daily talk show, help me, Desiguales, there's a new word for me, Desiguales, which airs weekdays at 3 p.m. on the network and is filmed live to tape in Miami. And now, therefore, our mayor, Francis Suarez, and the City of Miami Commissioner, Miguel Angel Gabella, celebrate Amara La Negra's artistic contributions, cultural advocacy, and commitment to uplifting our community, together with the honorable members of the City Commission, do hereby proclaim October 9th as Amara La Negra Day. Congratulations. Babies, look at the babies.
Hi,
You're not shy.
What's your name?
I'm Tessa.
You're Suma. And what's her name?
He's Tessa.
Are you shy? Are you shy?
Niño, no.
All right. Well, first of all, oh my God, this is so pretty. I want to thank, I'm going to start that way. Gail, Barbara, thank you so much. Y'all is family over here. I am so honored to be here. I'm slightly nervous because last year it was a dream of mine, obviously, muchísimas gracias, to receive the key of the city. And I got the keys to the 305 too. Opening many doors. And today I stand here as an Afro-Latina. I stand here as a single mother. I stand here as daughter of immigrants from humble beginnings with big dreams. And I was raised in Hialeah/Brown Suburb. Dios mío. I have slightly progressed a little bit, you know. We live lovely now, but I'm just proud to still stay home here in Miami-Dade. My daughters were also born in the 305, And I am so proud to be representing what Miami means to me, which is diversity, is a melting pot of cultures, of stories, of sacrifice. And I'm just happy to officially have my Amara Day, which, by the way, you guys are all invited to the Amara Fest. It's going to be held at El Parque Juan Pablo Duarte, always giving back to the community. I don't just want to talk about it. I want to be about it. I want to show that I do care about my community. This is only the beginning of many great things to come. And I will continue to be an activist for the Afro-Latino community, to tell the world about the importance of immigrants, of Latinos like us, because we do make a big difference and we're here to stay. And I'm just proud to be able to be standing here with you guys today. So thank you so much.
Next up on our proclamation list is the Special Olympics of Florida. Please come up. The Special Olympics, since 2017, has grown by 70% in participation in Miami, reflecting the dedication of athletes, families, coaches, and the community. And in 2017, there were 6,367 athletes and partners enrolled in Special Olympic programs in Miami. And today there are more than 10,809 actively participating, demonstrating remarkable growth and commitment. Special Olympics welcome athletes throughout their lifetime, from elementary to adulthood, offering a lasting of community where no one ages out and all are encouraged to continue their journey for as long as they want. Whereas the mission of Special Olympics Florida is to provide year-round sports training and competition in Olympic-type sports for individuals with intellectual disabilities, creating opportunities to develop physical fitness, demonstrate courage, experience joy, and foster friendships among family, athletes, and the broader community. Special Olympics Florida ensures that no athlete or parent is ever charged a fee to participate. Very important, very nice. Removing financial barriers and making inclusion possible for all families, regardless of circumstances. Programs are designed for individuals of every ability level, from the highly functioning to the severely challenged, ensuring that everyone who meets eligibility criteria has the opportunity to participate and to shine. They currently offer training and competition in 26 sports, empowering athletes to pursue their passions, expand their skills, and achieve their personal best. And the City of Miami recognizes the profound impact of Special Olympics Florida on the lives of athletes, families, and community, fostering inclusion, dignity, and unity through the power of sports. And today we celebrate their efforts. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us here today. My name is Henry Reyes, and I'm a proud Special Olympics athlete from Miami-Dade County. I compete in softball, soccer. I also coach sports, and along with basketball. I've been a part of Special Olympics for 11 years, since 2014. And it's truly changed my life through sports. I learned about teamwork, leadership, and power of believing. Not just myself, but in others too. Over the years, I've been lucky to receive some amazing honors. In 2016, I was the Inspirational Athlete of the Year, along with the Inspirational Coach of the Year. And last year, I was proud to be recognized as Miami-Dade Athlete of the Year. But to me, those awards aren't just about me. They represent every teammate, coach, volunteer who has helped me all the way the possible to push me to do the best and believe what's possible. As an athlete leader, I try to give back every chance I get, whether it's helping at events, supporting fundraising, or participating in our athlete leadership meetings. I do my best to lead by example because I believe leadership is about lifting others and helping everyone to reach their full potential. Thank you, everyone, for continuing to support athletes like me. Together, we're building something special in and off the field. Thank you.
All right. The chairwoman is giving me a hard time for the number of people that I'm honoring today. She says she wants to put a limit on me. But I told her it's almost my last commission meeting, so I have there's a lot of people that we need to thank for their work in our community. One of them just celebrated their 50th anniversary as a business in our city. Yeah. Sergio's Restaurant. Carlos, come up here. Serving our community for 50 years with passion, pride, and dedication. Sergio's has been more than a restaurant. It's been a second home to so many, a place where families gather, where culture is celebrated, and where tradition is proudly preserved through every meal and every moment shared. Their commitment to excellence, to Cuban heritage, and to the people of the city is what makes Sergio's such a vital part of the fabric of Miami. Open 24 hours a day, by the way, guys, every day, 7 days a week. And so today, on behalf of the city of Miami, it's my great honor and privilege to present Sergio's Restaurant and Carlos with the key to the city, one of our highest recognitions. The key symbolizes our deep appreciation for your contribution to our community, your leadership in local business, and the way you've brought people together through hospitality, heart, and heritage. To the Gazatua family and the entire Sergio's team, thank you for 50 years of service to our city. Congratulations, and here's to many more years of continued success.
The Little Cafetera representing. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you to our team members, all our restaurants, and thank you to you, to everyone here who has shared a meal with us for the last 50 years. We like to think we don't serve just food. We like to think that our food nourishes dreams, and it touches the soul of everyone because you get to spend time with your family and share their stories. Miami is a city of doers and dreamers. We've been here for the last 50 years watching everyone's hustle, their triumph, and their wins. And at Sergio's, we're proud to be part of that rhythm where we get to embrace tradition, culture, never forget where we came from. In the mornings, from dawn, serving café con leche, to midnight sandwiches of medianoches, we've been here. And one thing we like to think about is that food is love, and love inspires dreams. And we look forward to the next 50 years rewriting and writing our history with you all together. Thank you again.
Okay, we're almost done. Just a couple more. Just a couple more. This next one is for another very special Miamian. And we've honored other members of his family before because they really are an incredible family. They have literally helped build the city that we live in. And they've done it in their own way. They have been able to uniquely identify and believe in our city way before anyone else did. And part of the magic of the Mellows is the vision that they've had, the belief that they've had in our city. When a lot of people didn't think these neighborhoods that they now have impressive buildings on would ever amount to anything, they knew, they believed, they invested. Because of that belief, because of that courage, because of that vision, they were able to reap the rewards of a city that has given back to them by trying to be as special as they are. And so, Martin, if you'll please come up, put your hands together. Come on. Papi, ven, todo el mundo, para arriba. I think for me, it's really more than about the 8,000. It's more than about the 8,000 units that they built in our city. Many of which are what we call a term that I think they invented probably. NOAA. Does anybody here know? I know you guys know what NOAA is. Like the lobbyists and the land use lawyers know what NOAA is. But does anybody, like a regular citizen, know what NOAA is? NOAA stands for Naturally Occurring Affordable Housing. Naturally occurring affordable housing is essentially smart development. It's someone who sees an opportunity, who buys early, who sees it before it's there, who builds something that can then rent out at an affordable price without receiving $1 from government. They are the epitome of NOAA in our city. Naturally occurring affordable housing. They were building condos in some of the areas that are now very luxurious, and now they're also doing some luxurious buildings as well. But they were doing it at $2,000, $1,500, $1,700, all without any government subsidy. And they do it because a lot of the stuff that they do is in-house. They keep things within the family. They work hard. I don't know that there's I shouldn't say this part because I'm going to get in trouble. I was going to say, I don't know that anybody works harder than they do. They really work hard. I mean, and they're pushing constantly. And we're just really proud of what they've done. We're grateful for their belief in our city. And as mayor, I could tell you I'm grateful for your friendship. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, alcalde. Gracias, comisionado. Estimado alcalde Francis Suárez, distinguidos comisionados, autoridades presentes, contratistas, ingenieros, arquitectos, abogados, contadores, colegas del Grupo Melo, amigos y miembros de nuestra comunidad. Recibir esta llave de la ciudad de Miami es un honor que me llena de orgullo y emoción. Esta llave no representa únicamente un reconocimiento a una trayectoria profesional, sino también un símbolo de aceptación, confianza, colaboración y de compromiso con el futuro de nuestra ciudad. Como desarrollador inmobiliario he tenido el privilegio de contribuir al crecimiento y la transformación de Miami. Así, Melo Group, con sus 24 años de operación en Miami, construyó más de 8.000 unidades, 6.000 de ellas para workforce o clase media trabajadora. Hoy, al recibir esta llave, lo hago en nombre de cada persona que ha trabajado incansablemente junto a mí. También los que se cansaron también. En nombre de las más de 8.000 familias que ahora cuentan con una vivienda digna, accesible y bien ubicada, porque detrás de cada unidad construida hay una historia, una familia y un sueño cumplido. Alcalde Suárez, usted ha liderado esta ciudad con una visión poderosa, defendiendo la innovación y un enfoque de libre mercado que ha impulsado una expansión económica que ha cimentado la reputación de Miami como centro global. Este entorno que busca y acoge activamente la inversión ha hecho posible que proyectos como el nuestro se hagan realidad y a su vez contribuyan al crecimiento y prosperidad que todos disfrutamos. Permítame dedicar unas palabras a las personas que han sido fundamentales en este camino. Bueno, a mis padres, mi mamá, por supuesto, la más grande que hay y un soporte para toda esta empresa. A mi padre por su guía, por su confianza que él tiene en mí desde chico y por enseñarme que el verdadero liderazgo nace de la humildad, del servicio y la constancia. Como maestro, sus enseñanzas y ejemplos han sido no solo mi brújula, sino la de muchos presentes acá. A mi hermano mayor, ¿dónde está Carlos? Ahí está. Mi hermano mayor, una persona brillante, cuya inteligencia, creatividad y generosidad me esperan cada día. Su capacidad de ver más allá, pensar con audacia y actuar con integridad ha sido clave en muchos de los logros que hoy celebramos. A mi hermana por su confianza y apoyo desde siempre. Por supuesto a mi esposa Ana María por su confianza, por su amor y su aceptación. Voy a poner la llave del corazón de mi esposa arriba de la llave de la ciudad, porque... Sí. Gracias por caminar a mi lado con paciencia, con fe y con entrega que me conmueve profundamente. Agradezco al alcalde Francis Suárez, a los comisionados por este gesto que me honra, que me compromete aún más. Esta llave es también una invitación a seguir trabajando con responsabilidad, sensibilidad y con visión a largo plazo. Recibo esta distinción con gratitud, humildad y con la firme convicción de que lo mejor para Miami está por construirse. Sigamos soñando en grande, trabajemos juntos y construyendo una ciudad que refleje lo mejor de todos nosotros. Muchas gracias.
Yo creo que tiene todos tus empleados aquí. No te preocupes, que todo está subtítulo, los subtítulos están perfectos. Sí. Así que, pues nada. We have a, I'm going to say a couple of words, because that's a very important. This is first in family, right? Felicitaciones. Más bella que nunca. Demasiado. No, pero todavía podemos disfrutar, ¿no? Seguro. Gracias. So, we're going to, this is a program that is near and dear to my heart, and I think it's something that makes this city and our commission very special. I don't believe there's any, and I will ask, I don't know, I don't see the reporters, some of the reporters that are here, but I would challenge any journalists to find out if this is true or false. But I don't think there's any city in America that gives college scholarships like the city of Miami does, right? I don't think there is. And we give two, but one of them, and Pete Garcia is here with me. Pete was the one that called me initially and said, I have this idea. Okay, let me let the Mellow organization file out. Go back to the construction site. Yeah, I'm sure you will have to, by the way. knowing Martin and Carlos. You guys will be on the line in about 15 minutes. All right, thank you guys. So I remember when Pete called me and he said, I have this idea, I want you to lead it. And the idea was, if you're first in your family, first in your generation to go to college, and you're a Pell Grant recipient, the city should step up and fund the difference. And I said, absolutely, where do I sign up? And we did it. We did it with city resources. We did it by raising some private fundraising resources. We did it with our Venture Miami team and with our chairwoman. And I'm an FIU alum. And just like Miami-Dade College, I feel that FIU is a school, I see some people shaking their heads in the audience, that is a democratized opportunity for excellent education. And the fact that a city will step up and say, hey, if you're a person of low means, but you're first in your family to make it, we want to be the ones that put you over the edge. We don't want you not to have an opportunity to get a higher education simply because you can't afford it. Or we don't want you to have to go into debt simply to get a higher education. So I want to thank the commission, because the commission and former commissioner, the late commissioner, Manolo Reyes, if you remember, was very, very, very much supportive and proud of this initiative. And I want to thank him, because every time I would bring it, he would say, yeah, if you bring that, I will definitely support you, Mayor. So thank you, all of you. Thank you to my colleagues for always supporting all our initiatives. And thank you, Peter, and the FIU team. I don't know if anybody else.
Yeah, as the mayor says, when we first started this a couple of years ago, I came to him because I had known him for a lot of years, and I presented the idea. And I actually didn't ask him for that much money. I asked him for less. And he says, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. And then he got on the phone, and he got the matching funds. So this is the second year that we've done this. And so it all totals, the city of Miami has given us $300,000, and it's been matched by $700,000. So if you do your math, that's $1 million, which has been awarded to City of Miami residents who are first generation Pell Grant eligible. And myself being also first generation, I know how important this is, because a lot of these kids, they're the first in the family. They have other siblings that look up to after them. And it's important because it makes a difference when they get their college degree. And you're saying $1,000 for these kids. By our statistics, a lot of them don't graduate because of $1,000. So you're making an impact, not just on this individual student, on his entire family, of the family yet to come that wants to graduate, and on this community, because you're getting their college degree. And I thank you. I thank you on behalf of these kids, which helps them graduate. And I thank the mayor and the commission and the city of Miami for helping their student athletes.
And these are the kind of good news stories that we want our press to write about, because these are the things that we're doing that are exceptional. And frankly, oftentimes, you hear the bad news, but you don't hear the good news of some of the things that we're doing. We're making this community of Miami for everyone. And that's thanks to the staff members that we have, thanks to our commissioners, and thanks to institutions like FIU. Thank you. All right. Last but not least, let's see, where's my thing? So, I want to thank the chair for her indulgence this morning. And there are some candidates for mayor that think that I should chair the commission, that the mayor should chair the commission, and that we shouldn't delegate the chair to a wonderful commissioner. I know there was one candidate that was the chair that didn't do well, as what the chair just said. I'm just repeating what her words is. I don't disagree with you, by the way. No, I don't think anybody does. Anyhow, but today we're doing something really special. And I want to thank my Chief of Staff, Carlos Suarez, for all of his hard work on this. Carlos may be the most popular guy in City Hall. Right? I think he is. The guy has gone all around the world for people. He's there for everyone in their toughest moments. And he's someone that I couldn't do this job without. But he helped me put together this project that I'm very proud of. If you go to most city halls across America, Melissa, if you go to most city halls across America, you will see a wall of mayors, right? You'll see the mayors from the beginning of time, the beginning of the existence of the city. In our case, 1896, when we were incorporated, to today. And we didn't have that. We never had that. And I just couldn't understand why. And so one day I just talked to the clerk, Todd Hannon, who's a phenomenal clerk that we have. Put your hands together for Todd. And his wonderful team. Sometimes the clerks don't get a lot of credit, but I always tell him, listen, it's good. The clerk is not controversial, so if something happens that's bad, you probably won't be the recipient. So that's the good news about being the clerk. But he helped us put together this wall of mayors that was established as a tradition by resolution that was passed on July 27th of 1931. There was a resolution passed requiring us to have a wall of mayors. I think the clerk has a copy of it and is going to distribute it. But it was never done. So, like the fountain, which came out from the ashes, the phoenix, this also, you're laughing, that's funny? The fountain is funny to you? Okay. This tradition is incredible. And I just want to take a special moment to highlight one of the wall recipients. As the head of protocol, because that's another one of my titles. I don't think any of the candidates for mayor may know that, but the mayor is also the head of protocol. Right? Makes sense. I get to extend these privileges. And when I first started as a commissioner, there was a commissioner that was here with me, and I could always rely on him to be a steady force. Someone who I looked up to in so many ways as a husband. I looked up to him as a father. I looked up to him as a fitness freak like me, someone who cared about fitness. And, we're doing the wall. Carlos came to me and said, Commissioner Gort was the mayor for a period of time. Do you think he should go up on the wall? And I said, absolutely. I don't care if he was the mayor for 5 minutes. He should absolutely go on the wall. And Tammy and his wonderful daughters, who are just really incredible Miamians. Just a beautiful family, a great tradition, a great Miami tradition. I'm always getting photographed by one member of his family or another at every event that we go to, by the way. So I want to take a moment to call Mayor Gort up to receive the keys to the city. I got to do this. And Tammy, come on up if you can. Si quieres, ¿ven? Puedes. So I'm just going to say, thank you, Chair. I just want to say it's an honor and a privilege to welcome you all here today for the official unveiling of the Wall of Mayors at City Hall. As you may have noticed when you walked in, there was a newly installed wall, an elegant and dignified display honoring those who have served in the esteemed office of mayor. Each one contributing to the rich history, the values, and the vision of our great city. This moment holds special meaning, not just for those of us who serve today, but for every resident who calls this city home. By honoring our past, we build a stronger foundation for the future. Every name displayed here represents a chapter in our city's story. Each mayor faced the unique challenges of their time, yet all were united by a shared purpose, to serve the people with integrity, vision, and a deep commitment to the public good. The resolution that established this tradition, as I said, was passed on July 27th of 1931, nearly a century ago. That decision was more than ceremonial. It was a declaration that public service is not simply a title or a term, but a legacy. One carried from administration to administration with great care and responsibility. To the mayors who came before me, thank you. Your leadership laid the groundwork for the progress we see and experience here today. Your contribution continue to shape our neighborhoods, our schools, our parks, and our civic life. And to those who will one day hold this office, may this wall serve as a reminder of the responsibility we all share to lead with courage, to govern with compassion, and to leave our city better off than we found it. Let this wall be more than a tribute. Let it be a source of inspiration, a symbol of continuity, of unity, and of enduring public service. Finally, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you again to our clerk, Todd Hannon, his staff, for assisting with this historically accurate and the historical accuracy of this project. It was very painstaking. We went through, and there was this idea that there wasn't a woman mayor, and maybe there was a woman mayor. You're going to see a few women up there on that wall. I think there's more than one, if I'm not mistaken. So, I don't know, Madam Chair. We'll see. Maybe a woman elected mayor. I don't know if there's any elected women mayor. But your dedication and attention to detail have been invaluable in ensuring that this wall of mayors truly honors our city's legacy. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Morning. Well, thank you very much. This is a big surprise. I really appreciate it, but I have to tell you, I'm all in favor of woman power. And you can see why. 4 daughters, the wife, 4 daughters, and 4 granddaughters. But I have to tell you a little bit. I've been here since 1954. I've seen all the changes that have taken place from 54 to today. And we all have to be very proud of all what we have accomplished in here, all the goods that we have provided. We have to be very proud of ourselves because we've done it. We have an ups and downs just like everybody else, every country, every business. But we come back up. And that's what makes us the greatest. So thank you all. Gracias. Que Dios los bendiga.
Thank you, ladies. Good to see you again. I don't think I have anything else, Madam Chair, but I'm not going to chair the meeting, despite what the candidates want.
What'd you just say?
I said I'm not chairing the meeting.
You know, it's not an easy job chairing a meeting. It's not. At this time, we are going to have our pastor come out and give us an official prayer. We have today Pastor Goodwin of the United House of Prayer for All People.
I'd like. I'm the District 1 Commissioner. I was late because there was an incident in my district, and I had to attend. But I'd like to ask for a prayer for my district and what's going on there, and I hope it ended already in a very well, peaceful manner. Thank you very much.
Pastor.
Let us pray. Eternal God, our Heavenly Father, Lord God, we thank you for this day and this opportunity to gather here for another session, Father. Oh, merciful God, we take this opportunity and ask you, Lord God, to remember the 2 officers, Lord God, the 2 officers who were shot today on duty, serving, Lord God, so that we may be able to live peaceable lives. We ask you, Father God, to remember all of the men and women, Lord God, in law enforcement, Father God. Continue to remember their families and protect them, Father God, as they serve this great city. We ask you, merciful God, that you remember all of the leaders and officials, Lord God, of this body, Lord, that you be with them, Lord God, in all of the planning and preparation, Father God, for this city. Merciful God, we ask you this prayer and these blessings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'm surprised the mayor missed this recognition, but October is Breast Cancer Awareness. Early detection saves lives. Pink, pink. Mr. City Attorney, would you please state your, give us your statement for the record?
Yes, Madam Chair. May it please the Commission, George Wysong, City Attorney. Detailed information about the processes, order of business, rules of procedure, and scheduling or rescheduling of City Commission meetings can be found in Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City Code, a copy of which is available online at www.municode.com. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the City Clerk and comply with related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available in the City Clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of the City Code section is available at the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com. The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose before the hearing any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold objections to the requested action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered to the City Commission that have not been provided 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with 2-33F and G of the City Code, the agenda and materials for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the City Clerk's office and online 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. The meeting of the Miami City Commission is a limited public forum. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the chair. Public comment will begin at approximately 9 a.m. and remain open until public comment is closed by the chairperson. Any person making offensive remarks or who becomes unruly in the Commission chambers will be barred from further attending City Commission meetings and may be subject to arrest. No clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts in support or opposition to a speaker or his or her remarks shall be permitted. No signs or placards shall be allowed in the Commission chambers. Persons exiting the Commission chambers should do so quietly. Members of the public wishing to address the body may do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form have been and will be distributed to the elected officials, their staff, the city administration throughout the day so that the elected officials may consider the comments prior to taking any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to the elected officials, their staff, and the city administration up until the chairperson closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided here live at City Hall, located at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, subject to any and all city rules as they may be amended. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such a later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item will be spoken about. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the City Clerk. The City has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, the public support, opposition, or neutrality on the items and topics to be discussed at the City Commission meeting in compliance with Section 286.0114 Florida statutes. The public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by City staff and the City Attorney's Office on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of an item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or view it online at www.miamigov.com. planning and zoning items. PZ items shall proceed according to Section 7.1.4 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. Parties for any PZ items, including any applicant, appellant, appellee, city staff, and any person recognized by the decision-making body as a qualified intervener, as well as the applicant's representatives and any experts testifying on behalf of the applicant, appellant, or appellee, may be physically present at City Hall to be sworn in by oath or affirmation by the city clerk. The members of the City Commission shall disclose any ex parte communications to remove the presumption of prejudice pursuant to Florida Statute Section 286.0115 and Section 7.1.4.5 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. The order of presentation shall be as set forth in Miami 21 and in the City Code. Staff will briefly present each item to be heard. The applicant will present its application or request to the City Commission. If the applicant agrees with the staff recommendation, the City Commission may proceed to its deliberation and decision. The applicant may also waive the right to an evidentiary hearing on the record. Please silence all cell phones and other noise-making devices. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Mr. City Clerk?
Thank you, Chair. The procedures for individuals who will be providing testimony who are sworn in for planning and zoning items and any quasi-judicial items on today's City Commission agenda will be as follows. The members of city staff or any other individuals required to be sworn in who are currently present at City Hall will be sworn in by me, the City Clerk, immediately after I finish explaining these procedures. Those individuals who are appearing remotely may be sworn in now or at any time prior to the individual providing testimony for planning and zoning items and or quasi-judicial items. Commissioners, are you comfortable with all notice provisions set forth in these uniform rules procedures we have established for this meeting?
Yes.
And Chair, may I administer the oath for the planning and zoning items?
Please.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you will be speaking on any of today's planning and zoning items, those are the PZ items, may I please have you stand and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give at today's hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And your response is? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, are there any items on this agenda that will be deferred or withdrawn?
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Mr. City Attorney, Mr. City Clerk. At this time, the administration would like to defer and to withdraw the following items.
Hold on 1 second. Those behind us making all that noise, get out. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. City Manager.
Ready? RE8 to be deferred to October 23rd. FR1 to be withdrawn. And DI4 to be deferred to October 23rd. That concludes the items.
And DI4 is?
To be deferred to October 23rd to the next meeting. You want to repeat them? RE8 to be deferred to October 23rd.
Mr. Manager, why is that being deferred?
I can explain, Madam Chair. We just got word from Judge Reyes that while there has been some back and forth regarding the amount of the attorney's fees, he has met with the other side, but they haven't resolved on a number yet. He asked if we could have a little bit more time to try and resolve this amicably.
Mr. City Attorney, should this just go to court? The back and forth, the length of time that it is taken, should we just release this to let the court decide the attorney's fees?
It's totally up to this body, but I think that I say give them one more opportunity to come up with a number that they present to the City Commission for approval.
But that's what you said before.
I know,
for
but
several since August.
Right, but the
it's
issue.
October now. It's going into November.
Right. It takes two sides, and
Well, that's what I'm saying. If one side isn't being reasonable, then maybe we should just put it in the hands of the court if one side isn't being reasonable. I'm not taking anyone's side here. I'm just saying that if we can't come to a resolution, we thought this would be, and Judge Reyes is one of the most fairest people that I know, so if he can't get them to a number, then maybe we should put it in the hands of the court.
I think to echo sort of George's point, there are a number of different law firms involved here. It's not just one. I think that adds to the complexity of trying to get this resolved. And I think that's the issue that Judge Reyes is having, is that there are multiple firms involved in this.
I know what the issues are. I'm saying all of that considered, maybe they will not reach a reasonable number, and instead of spinning our wheels, we should just go ahead and put it in the hands of the court. That's all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, back to the beginning. RE8 to the October 23rd meeting, FR1 to be withdrawn, and DI4 to be deferred to the October 23rd meeting.
I will check in with my colleagues now. Gentlemen, I'll start with Commissioner Rosado.
No changes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Vice Chair, do you have any items you would like to withdraw or defer?
I'd like to defer RE2 until the next meeting. I'll second you on that.
Okay.
I have some questions myself.
Okay.
I'm just curious about the questions.
Well, there's a numerous amount of questions that
Okay.
I don't want to embarrass anyone here. I want to be able to do it, hopefully, in a private
Okay, because
section.
we were ready last
I need-
time to approve
I
it.
need a lot of information to still get. And look, let me say this for the record. In 2 months, I will not be sitting here. All of you will, others will, and into the future, others will. I might be sitting over there. Maybe I might be packing the bags of Shangri-La. We'll see. But the bottom line is that I have a responsibility for the future. As you all know, I had no problems in voting for the recommendation that was given to us, none whatsoever. But I do have an obligation of making sure that the hands of this city are not so tied into the future where we are not just assuring independence, but we're anointing a king. You know, this is why we broke away from Great Britain many years ago. No kings in America. And there are things here that, frankly, it's not going to be on me. I won't be here. But it could hamper this city tremendously into the future. And what I'm seeing right now is lawsuits written all over the place here. And a lot of expense to the city's future.
Okay, just to be clear, what you're objecting to is the issue where
Look,
prior...
there are many things.
Commissioner,
that I
you
wanna
were
go
able to
into.
say your piece.
Yeah.
I'd like to say mine.
You can
We-
say yours, but I'm asking for a deferment. You're trying to keep
Let
it
me know
back
when
in the same
Madam
old
Chair,
thing.
let me know when I can speak.
Yes, okay. Commissioner Pardo.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The issue here is that prior to this contract, he could be terminated by a 4/5 vote at commission, and that's it. And that could happen without cause. So, I mean, if you're doing your job as an inspector general, you very well may upset 4 votes on this dais. The change in this contract says, all right, if you get terminated 4/5 by 4 votes, you have the right to go to arbitration. And in arbitration, if you're found to have been terminated without cause, you get reinstated. That's the change in the contract. Is that the change that you were...
There's a lot more changes than that here. And I've said my piece.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Can I weigh in?
Please.
Okay. As for me, I have several problems. Number one is the 4/5 vote. I have a problem with that. I've got a problem also with the severance. We need to get into the details and what that entails. And so I have some questions, and I'd like to, the gentleman's right there.
No, wait, no.
No, not now.
No, we're
But
just
I'd like to talk to
deciding.
you, sir, in my office when you have a chance, and that's why I'm also asking for a deferral for the next
Okay,
commission meeting.
so we have
That's my piece.
2 colleagues asking for a deferral. Commissioner Rosado is indicating that he doesn't take issue with that. So are there any other items that you would like to defer or withdraw?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
That's the only one that I see here with the, hold on, was there possibly, well, there's one other that I just missed here. I think it was.
Okay, we can come, I'll
yeah,
come
we
back
come
to
back
you.
for that.
Commissioner
Yeah.
Gabella, do
But it
you
could
have
be
any
discussed.
items that you want to withdraw or defer?
Yeah, DI3 and DI2 and DI3
DI2,
for the next meeting.
October 23rd.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Commissioner Pardo, do you have any?
I have none.
You have none.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear the 2 items that we just said would be deferred. To
DI1 and DI2.
DI2 and
No,
DI3.
DI2 and DI2 and DI3.
DI2 and DI3, I'm sorry.
Correct.
To defer to October 23rd. Correct?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mrs. City Clerk?
And then, Chair, briefly, I have a few co-sponsor and sponsor requests. Mayor Suarez, Chair King, and Commissioner Pardo will be co-sponsoring CA5. Commissioner Pardo will be co-sponsoring RE2. Chair King will be co-sponsoring RE9 and RE10 and sponsoring RE11 and RE12. Thank you, Chair.
And add me to CA5.
Understood.
Okay. May I have a motion to set the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, the agenda is now set. And at this time, I'm going to open the floor for public comment. If there's anyone here who would like to speak on behalf of any of the items before us that have not been withdrawn and or deferred, please step forward.
Good morning, Brenda Betancourt, 1436 Southwest 6th Street, in support of RE2, the independent generator. I know it's been withdrawn, but in support of it, due to the fact that Manolo Reyes worked on that and to make sure accountability in the city of Miami is actually something that we can actually tap on it. SR1 for the lobbies to make sure that everything is clear. PH6 as well, support of those meals that they're very important. And just want to say to the person who got shot, the officers, hopefully they pray for them to be better.
Thank you.
You, Commander Rodriguez, has always been very responsive when, at least for the people that we represent in the Alapara area. So our prayers are with them and with you, Commissioner. I know it's not easy, but it's part of what it is. You have amazing police officer in your side, and hopefully that they're all going to be safe for the best and better of all of us. And thank you to all the commanders and police officers to put their life on risk for us, the residents and the city of Miami. It's very important to acknowledge and thank them, not just them, but the family too. I just wanted very briefly to say that I know that the co-enforcement or co-compliance for the city of Miami is removing signs for political things from city lot owned.
Wait, is that on the agenda?
I don't know. I haven't read the agenda yet.
No,
completely.
that's not on the agenda. But you can take that up with our code director or our manager.
The problem is the commissioner was the one to call to remove the signs.
Ma'am, take
I
that
understand.
up with our manager or our director.
Well,
of
you
code.
guys as a commissioner need to know that too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman King?
No,
No, I don't want false accusations made
But
here.
she did not say any person's name, so we're not going to engage in that. Ma'am, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm Brenda Newman. I'm the Chief Integrity Officer for Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, our Miami-Dade County Mayor. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, Mr. Vice Chairman, the sponsor, Commissioner Rosado, and this whole commission. We're here on CA5 and urging for Miami-Dade County to open a new mental health center. I'm here with Amanda Dominguez, who will introduce herself, and we're available if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Through this board, thank you for having me here today. My name is Amanda Dominguez. I'm the Mental Health Program Manager over with Community Services Department. As my role as a project manager, I've been actively involved in every phase of this initiative, from strategic planning to contracts and legislation. I am here available to discuss any questions or concerns you may have. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is John Tui Morales. I live at 212 Shore Drive South here in the city of Miami. I'm here on behalf of RE5. This is
RE6.
RE6. Thank you for the correction. RE6, the Science-Based Tracking and Operational Resilience for Miami Initiative. This resolution was passed unanimously at the Climate Resilience Committee. I spoke at length in front of the committee the evening that they held the meeting. The purpose for those in the audience regarding this resolution is to affirm the city's commitment to science-based weather tracking as the foundation for emergency preparedness, and to advocate for the preservation of state, local, and federal funding to mitigate local risks, coordinate with partners, address potential federal budget cuts to NOAA. And the reason I'm here and passionate about this issue is because these are very unique times. And if you read the beginning of this affirmation, of this resolution, we're talking about affirming the city's commitment to science-based weather tracking. This is not HARP. This is not one U.S. party or another U.S. party moving hurricanes into certain states, which, of course, are just two of the many conspiracy theories out there regarding weather and climate. But we want this city to be guided by science, because science does have the answers. Despite the sledgehammer attack, the assault going on science in general in this country at this time, this city, with this resolution, intends to reaffirm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Melissa Saldana, 3505 Northwest 2nd Street, District 4. I am here in support of CA5. Good morning, Commissioners. On September 22nd, 2024, at 12:28 a.m., a man broke into my home by shattering my living room window. I barricaded myself in my bedroom for almost 30 minutes until police arrived. I could hear him destroying my kitchen. He lived just 1 block away. He was Baker-acted that night but not arrested until February 27, 2025, more than 5 months later. I will repeat again. He was Baker-acted that night but not arrested. During that time, I lived in fear, taking time off of work, seeking therapy while trying to access victim services that should have been automatic. That delay was later confirmed to stem from improper procedure by the responding officers. My internal affairs case, C-24-225, was sustained. The investigation found that the allegation of improper procedure against the officers Orlando Garcia was sustained. I want to thank Detective Osvaldo Toca and the Internal Affairs team for the professionalism and for upholding accountability. Their work shows that transparency and integrity is still possible within the City of Miami Police Department when the process is allowed to work. That brings me to today's item, Resolution CA5. This resolution urges Miami-Dade County to support the Miami Center for Mental Health and Recovery, a first-of-its-kind facility designed to improve public safety, reduce homelessness, and provide treatment instead of incarceration. While this resolution is symbolic, it is still necessary. The center is located in District 1 in the city of Miami. It bears our name. I urge you as a body to also put some skin in the game to allocate money into this project and make the city of Miami an actual partner, not just a cheerleader. If the center had been operational last year, my case might have ended differently, with intervention instead of trauma, therapy, and jail bed expenses of almost $78,000 and counting. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning, Madam Chair. Billy Corbin here on RE3. I just want to say from the get-go, despite some of the bad faith straw man arguments made when this item has come in the past, no one, I don't think the sponsor is suggesting that this item would preclude the city from paying for the attorney's fees for any elected official or city official who is sued in their official capacity. So that's not on the table as I understand it. What is on the table is the fact that you have a case which has cost the taxpayers in excess of $20 million in which the matter has been adjudicated. There is no immunity. There is no issue of official capacity. The commissioner has admitted, the judge has confirmed that this is entirely the money that the taxpayers are laying out in advance should not be laid out. And why should he not have to lay it out himself and then come back to the commission in the event that it's adjudicated? But you can ask the city attorney. I don't think that the matter is, I think it's been fully adjudicated as of, I think, even pre-trial. So there is no issue of immunity or official capacity. That's over. And the fact that this body and the city manager who doesn't even live in the city or the city attorney who doesn't even live in the city have taken no measures to ensure that Commissioner Carollo can pay those debts back. How about a motion to have him put his house up as collateral? But nobody has done anything. That is a violation of your fiduciary duty to the taxpayers and possibly a matter of malpractice. And finally, I would like to say, why don't we make a motion? Why don't we have an item that says that any elected official who owes the city and its taxpayers in excess of their salary forfeits that salary until such time that the just debt is paid back? The fact that Commissioner Carollo collects a paycheck every 2 weeks from the very taxpayers to whom he owes $20 million is a crime. It is theft. It is an ongoing corruption tax endorsed by this Miami mafia. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Excuse me,
Good
Madam
morning.
Chair, you always say that people's names can be mentioned. This man mentioned my name twice.
Your name is in the item, Commissioner.
Twice did he mention it. So
Can-
I
can-
have a
can-
right to answer that because he's throwing numbers. And he's finished, by the way, in what he's got to say.
Mr. Corbin,
He's got
you
a
are finished.
podcast.
Thank you.
He's paid
Thank-
and has
thank you.
been paid for years to investigate me, to attack me. He's not here. He doesn't even live in the city, so
that's a lie.
He's coming here just to attack me.
Mr.
Now-
Corbin, please sit down.
If he's going to lie about me, I'm going to tell the truth about
There's
him.
not- Please sit down. Thank you.
I want to put something in the record. The so-called $20 million that he says that I have caused the city. To begin with, in what I was sued on personally, not what some other 20 employees were sued, nor the city. Most of that was covered by insurance. And it's nowhere near on my part, what's got my name, and the amount that he mentioned of $20 million. The other people that have been sued, and by the way, the reason that it went up so much and the other employees that were sued of the city, because they wanted to bring that cost up so then they could put him up here to say these kind of things. Because all the other 10 individuals and 10 John Does, it was dropped. It was dropped by them or the judge dropped it. So never should have been filed to begin with. Furthermore, you want to talk about monies for the city? Talk about the $663 million that if you had not had a Joe Carollo here when I was mayor, the city would have never gotten. And each year it makes more and more because I brought ideas to bring money for the city. Unlike individuals like this,
Vice Chair.
that all they do is bark. Since I've been back, I have brought some additional $6 million plus every year. The recurring revenue will grow it for the city. And in this year's fiscal budget that was approved, $58 million of it, it's got my name that I brought to this city.
Vice
In
Chair.
private sector, they would have paid no less than 10% for anybody that brought that. I brought it to the city because I care about this city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Cecilia Tavera, 2 Grovale Drive, Coconut Grove 33133. I would like to yield my time to John Morales.
We're not yielding time, ma'am. We're not yielding time. You may speak.
I'm here in support of RE3, and I totally agree that we, the payers, the constituents, shouldn't be supporting any criminal activities of any of the elected officials. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Madeline Llanes. I'm the Executive Director of Centro Mater. I'm here jumping the agenda on PH2 to thank the Commission and especially Commissioner Carollo for his continued support to Centro Mater's mission of love and service to the children and family of Miami. So thank you so much for always being there for us, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners. My name is Aaron DeMeo, address at 66 West Flagler Street. I'm also the chair of the city's Climate Resilience Committee. I'm here for item RE6, Storm. This resolution was on the September 15th CRC agenda, and it was passed unanimously. The item is about making sure that you all have the resources, primarily data, to make decisions should a storm be headed our way. It's not about climate change, comparing today to some past or a distant future. It's simply about today, tomorrow, next week, next month, that if you all have to make a decision, that you have that information available to you. Thank you for your consideration of it.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Miguel Solomon, 1436 Southwest 6th Street. I'm here in support of PH5 and PH6. I think it's a great expansion of the meals programs for District 4, and also in support of RE10 for the rental assistance. I think that's also a program much needed in our city. And while I'm here, I just would like to wish best wishes and quick recovery for our 2 police officers that were shot this morning, and also take advantage to recognize from Alapata, Commander Rodriguez, under the supervision of our Commissioner Gavela. My offices are in Alapata, and I am so happy. The streets are clean from not only trash, but from crime, and I've never seen Alapata in a better situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gavela.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Seeing none, public comment period is now closed. We have a personal appearance on the agenda. Is someone here for PA1? Commissioner, our
If I
personal
could.
appearances are slated
Yes,
for 5 minutes. I want to make sure that you understand. Personal appearances, 5 minutes.
Yes, I was going to be calling some of our directors, but we're limited to what?
5 minutes.
That's fine. That would be fine.
Commissioner, pull your mics closer.
Thank you. Look, we talk about so many needs that our city has, and it does. We also talk about reducing our residents and our business taxes on property that we all agree on. One of the areas that we could make a major difference to our city residents is in the following. And we don't deal with it, we ignore it, but it has to come forth to the forefront. Out of every dollar that our residents or business pay in property taxes, 29% goes to the county. 29%. What does that come to? $562 million approximately on this fiscal year, and growing every year. I wouldn't doubt it if it'll hit $600 million on the fiscal year's budget that we passed. But what do we get out of it? Well, I'm going to tell you where most of that money, I believe, goes to. It's going into unincorporated Miami-Dade County, where the city of Miami residents are subsidizing many of the services that the county provides to those residents. Police. Mr. Manager, what police services do we get from the county? Barely nothing, if any. We have our own police department that handles everything. Fire and rescue, the same. Oh, yes, they will say the seaport we provide, the airport. Well, they have individuals' budgets that provide their own monies. The general fund doesn't give them money. They got individual budgets. So they don't need our money there either. They're not using our money there. The libraries, yes, they do provide libraries, but we provide a separate payment in taxes to the libraries, apart from what I just said. So the bottom line is that this commission, if it truly wants to make the biggest difference for our residents in cutting taxes and providing many other services that we need into the future, that this city needs if it's going to grow appropriately, we need to stop taxation that we're not getting anything for it. And Mr. Manager, I don't know if this commission has the stomach for it, but it better get it sooner or later, because with the changes that are coming in the future, more and more is going to be cut one way or another. And we're going to need that money that's being taken from us for unincorporated Dade County, and it's not given back to us. I propose that this commission goes on record in asking the administration, including the police department, fire department, and other departments, what services are we getting from the county? And for that to be brought back to us at the next meeting that we have, so that this commission can make an intelligent decision as to what our next step forward should be.
Thank you. Ms. Manager, did you get that?
I did, Madam Chair.
Would this body like for me to make this into an official motion so that we go on record on it? Yes? I'll make the motion.
No, I'm sorry. I'm in another world because they just told me that the shooter, passed away, and the guy's a friend of mine, the dad, and I'm sorry. I wasn't there. Could you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
I understand.
And that goes into that CA5 that I'm going to be talking about, with the mental health issue. Yeah. But I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Well, I'll make it.
What is it again? What are we doing again?
It's a formal motion for the manager to come back at the next commission meeting after he goes through all our departments, beginning with police and fire, as to what service are we getting from the county for the 29% of every dollar that they take of taxes, property taxes that are paid by city residents and businesses, so that we can discuss this intelligently as to what steps we should take forward. We're in a situation that I feel that we're giving the county money that we're not getting, and we're the ones that have subsidized unincorporated Miami-Dade County.
I mean, I'll yield to my colleagues, but we don't have financials in front of us for the county.
Well,
this is a much bigger issue than what you're presenting.
It is. That's
And
why
I don't
I'm
know
going-
why
I'm going
we're
step
doing
by
this
step.
directive now at this moment instead of in a more organized fashion through staff in our briefings so that we can have a better.
This is,
But if you all feel that's
this is
good,
an
I'm good.
organized way. We're asking the manager through each department director to come back to us. Then we can discuss what they give us and deciding what's the next step that we would take.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why we haven't done this before, because I believe you're right.
Well, I mean, is this something we can change?
I think the administration would have to find that out, and that's what this is about. That is what it's about. He's asking administration to take some action, to give us some information. So if that's the motion,
That's
can I
what the
have,
motion is.
do I have a motion?
My only question was, is the 29 cents of every dollar something we can change?
That's what we have to find
So-
out. So that
So you better believe it, we could change it if
okay,
we
but
decide to.
let's
Let me just point just for clarification. So this is a conversation that I certainly have had with some of you over the period of years that we've been doing budgets. More particularly, it's a conversation I had with the both co-chairs that are managing the tax reform process at the state, relative to the fact that cities like ours, right, when you're talking tax reform, we are a donor city, right? We are. Right? We provide more tax revenue for services that we don't actively engage in, and as a result, there ought to be some remuneration back to us, or some consideration of that as we're reevaluating the whole taxation process, right, and the impacts it has on our residents. From a municipal perspective, we get hit twice, right? We get hit not only because we are a donor city, but also because we have an overwhelmingly high properties that are tax exempt within the city of Miami, mostly government institutional, but also nonprofit. I mean, we house every state, federal, and county significantly sized building are all located within the city of Miami. So we generate no tax revenue from those, and still we provide services, both, and particularly from a public safety perspective. So I think this analysis is probably warranted, just if for no reason other than information to this body, but also as a potential side benefit that we could provide that information to the state, right, as they're going through this process of evaluating tax.
Thank you.
So we import more than what we get back, in other words. At the end
Like
of
our
the day.
districts.
Yeah, I can support this item as well.
So I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. And because this just came up, if there's anyone that would like to speak on this for public comment, please come forward. Seeing none, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We are on our consent agenda items. Gentlemen, are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion?
I don't want to pull, I just want to talk about CA5 real brief.
That's pull for discussion.
Okay.
So we're going to pull CA5. Any others?
If I could, you could bear with me for a second, Commissioner. CA5. If I just may ask a question, real brief, on CA1 to Commissioner Gavela. Commissioner, on CA1, I know this is from the Frost Museum. What happened to the insurance side of it? Are we still pursuing the insurance company, or is this a final settlement of the museum and the insurance?
I think that question would be
Are you
better.
asking me?
That would
Yeah,
be better
on
answered by the legal
CA1.
department.
My son, I was briefed on it. But
Okay, we all were.
Yeah, so this is a lawsuit where
The seawall, Carollo, the
Yeah, I
seawall
know,
that was
yeah,
damaged
yeah,
a while
yeah.
back, and now's when we're getting paid.
I understand that. That was way, way years
That was a
ago.
while back.
I'm just trying to find out if there's additional more money that we might get.
No, so the museum offered $150,000 to resolve the case. We were able to negotiate the museum to pay $200,000 to settle all claims. So this would be a settlement of all claims related to. Now, this is just for the damage that the science barge caused to our seawall. It's not seawall in general. It's just to repair the damage that they caused. And we've been negotiating with them since 2021.
I understand. So this includes whatever insurance was going
Right.
to cover. All right?
Right.
That's all that I'm trying to get to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Pardo, do you have any
No.
items from? Okay.
Yeah, I make a motion.
So I have a motion to pass
Second.
CA 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. And Commissioner Gabella, you want
Yeah,
to?
I wanted to talk on CA5 because I was voting for it anyway, but I think this is long overdue. And today, although, you know, you don't want to talk about a tragedy and what happened in my area today in District 1 in Alapata. And the thing is, I know the gentleman, I understand, was mentally ill, shot 2 officers, and I believe he just passed away. They had to shoot him because he was barricaded inside his house, but I know the father. And so this is a tragedy, you know, for me that maybe or maybe not could have been preventable. And I think this is the CA5 that Judge Lightman has been trying to do for such a long time has been, you know, well overdue. I think we should pass this, and I think the county should follow. I took a tour of the site last year with my wife and my staff. The gentleman, they spent about $30 million, you know, in that facility. And that facility has been simply waiting for the county to move on it. And I don't understand what happened. I'm not blaming the county, but I urge the county to please move on this, you know, because this is long overdue. It's gonna take up, you know, a little bit of a burden off the streets. In my area, in District 1, we're dealing with the 7th Avenue corridor, which you know, there it entails is located Camilla's house and you know, a lot of homeless activity that they're fed, that they're housed, and therefore it's a revolving door. And this is a little bit just north of that. Camilla's is on about, if I remember correctly, 14th or 13th, somewhere in there. And this is on 20th, I want to say 21, 22, 23rd. Anyway, at the end of the day, you know, again, I can't stress enough, and I don't like to mention this as a tragedy, but maybe something like this that happened today could have been prevented by something like this in mental health for people that have mental issues. So please, I urge my colleagues, which I imagine share the same, you know, sentiment that I do, and I urge again the county commissioners to please pass this, that this is way overdue, and the gentleman has been trying for years to do this, Judge Lippman, and I think this merits that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I agree. I toured the facility myself, and I also had Judge Leifman as a guest on my podcast. This is at least 3 years overdue. When Judge Leifman was a guest on my podcast, he thought everything would be finished within the year. And that was the first year that I started my podcast. So it's now 3 years later, and I would do more than urge the county, because this isn't red tape stuck in the city of Miami. This is squarely in the jurisdiction of Miami-Dade County. And like my colleague said, a year ago, we had a shooting. It wasn't a fatality at my church with a young man that was experiencing a mental health break. And officers had to get involved. I talked about it then, for our officers to get super training on dealing with mental illness and these situations. But this facility is a game changer for our community, for our homeless population. I cannot say enough about what Judge Leifman has done with this facility. It actually, when you walk in, it looks like a spa. And the first interaction that patients would have is with a doctor who washes their feet. That's biblical. And it establishes trust immediately. Why anyone would drag on not having this facility open is unconscionable. And that's why I'm a co-sponsor of this item. We need it. It will save lives. It will change the trajectory of families who are dealing with a loved one who has mental illness. And like Commissioner Gabella said, today may not have ended the way it did had we have this additional resource.
Madam Chair, I'd like to echo your comments and those of Commissioner Gabella, and want to express my strong support for this, and whatever we can do to get the ball moving in the county's court would be something I think we'd all probably get behind. I also wanted to mention that this, the impetus for this agenda item was the DDA discussion on this, and so there's a unanimous resolution in support from the DDA board that our city clerk is going to distribute.
Commissioner Pardo?
Madam Chair, I also wanted to add, as a co-sponsor, that Judge Leifman and his work with mental health in the judiciary has been his passion for decades. And we're very blessed and lucky in our community to have him as part of our community. What he's trying to do with this facility is really completely innovative. And I want to stress how badly we need it in the city of Miami, because it doesn't matter which district you go to.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter which park. You are going to see the impact of mental health and homelessness. As a community, and when I use that word community, I'm not just talking about the city of Miami, all of us, South Florida, we have not, in a collaborative fashion, been able to tackle this problem. I think Judge Leifman's center is our first step in trying new ways of humanely and productively and positively, from a spiritual perspective, from an operational perspective, bring folks out of that situation and just make us a better city, a better community in South Florida. So I'm a big fan of this, of Judge Leifman, and anything the county can do, anything we can do, let's do it.
And it will be a model.
Mm-hmm.
It will be a model for the rest of the country to follow along. This is a good allocation of our resources to address this community, this population, and this issue. So may I have a motion?
Motion. Moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item passes unanimously. Gentlemen, are there any PH items that you would like to pull for discussion? PH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? Are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion? Commissioner Rosado? Commissioner Gabella?
No, I'm good.
Commissioner Pardo?
No.
Vice Chair?
I do not see any, Madam Chair.
Okay. May I have a motion
Move.
to pass PH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Those items have passed. Gentlemen, with respect to our RE items, are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion? In play is RE 1, RE 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
So I think some of my colleagues would like to inquire on the RE3 and what it is that I'm trying to accomplish without getting into the political drama.
Okay, so I'll wait. Let me see if there are any others. We'll pull RE3 for discussion.
Yeah, RE4, I'm going to defer
RE4, you would like to defer until when?
to the next commission meeting.
October 23rd. May
Yes,
I have a
ma'am.
motion to defer RE4?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's deferred until October 23rd. Are there any other items that you would like to either pull for discussion or
RE7.
withdraw? You want to pull RE7?
RE7.
RE7, okay. Any other items?
I'd like to just pull RE6. I just wanted to make a comment about it.
Okay, we're going to pull RE6.
So
Any
RE6,
others?
RE7, and then RE3, RE10.
Vice Chair, do you have any items you would like to pull for discussion?
By the way, what did we decide to do with RE2? Did we take a vote on that to defer it to the next commission meeting?
Yes, that's
Okay.
already deferred to October
right.
23rd.
Yep.
RE2. That was the Inspector General. Okay. No items, Vice Chair, other than the... Okay, so may I have a motion to pass RE1, RE5, RE9, 10, 11, and 12?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioner Cabello, you pulled
Okay, so
RE3?
so in RE3. So in brief, what I am trying to accomplish is, like I said earlier, okay, without getting into the political drama, okay, is a threshold for what we're going to be covered in the future as elected, and what we agreed on, what I spoke to staff on, and I think we had a meeting of the minds, was that we were going to cover what happened in Carollo's personal first trial, what happened in his appeal, and then the second appeal that just came. By the way, we had spoken about this and settled that we were going to do the trial, we're going to do what I call the first appeal, the second appeal, and we stopped there. That would be the threshold, okay, going forward, okay? And then if outside of that, anybody wants to go to the Supreme Court of the United States, that's a different item. That's on you. That's on your dime. That's my motion, okay? Because at the end of the day, you know, again, without getting into the political drama, you know, and getting into a heated discussion, at some point we must set an example. We must set, you know, we have to have a threshold of what we're going to be covered. Also, that also keeps us in line, okay? By the same token that the sentiment is, well, we have to be covered as elected because we're making the decisions here that we might get sued, and I understand that. I understand that full well. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is an anomaly that happens probably once every 50 years, you know, 100 years. This doesn't happen every day, right? So the threshold is very simple. You know, it's also to keep us, the electeds, in line and saying, gee, you know, I'm going to be covered in my first trial, second trial, but, you know, do I really want to get in trouble for this? Do I really want to go out there, you know what I mean, without going into the details? Do I really want to go out there and start trouble? And I'm not going to get into the details, but it's also kind of a deterrent for us to also act, you know, within our bounds. You know what I mean? To be responsible. You know, and you know, think of things. You know, I'm a hothead. I'll tell you that right now. And sometimes I've lost my cool up here, and I've tried to reform myself. I am not perfect by any means. You know, I am a person with many flaws. I have many flaws. Okay. But I do realize the need, and I have tried to adapt myself to the situation where we have civilized conversations, you know, and this is one of them where at the end of the day, the taxpayer has footed the bill for this defense that's in the millions of dollars, okay, and I think that there needs to be a threshold, and this is purely what this is about. So plain and simple again, we're going to cover you for trial like we did to Carollo. We're going to cover you for the first appeal. We're going to cover you for the second appeal, and then it ends there. After that, you want to go to the Supreme Court, you have to pay for it out of your, you know, whatever monies you have. It's your problem. That's my suggestion. You colleagues, let me know what you think.
George, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make a comment on one thing. So your plan is the trial court would be covered through all the motions. The appellate process would be covered as well through the mandate. So there's often a misconception that if we file or the side files a motion for reconsideration or motion for reconsideration en banc, that's a new appeal, when really that's part of the original appellate process. So I believe your suggestion is that the City Commission would cover in advance the defense of an elected official through trial, through the mandate of the first tier review, and that if, say, an elected official wanted to take that matter further to the Florida Supreme Court or the United States Supreme Court, they would then have to do that. Now, I just have to inform you that, of course, the law provides that if that commissioner is successful in that Supreme Court of Florida or Supreme Court of the United States decision, then they would be entitled to come back and seek their attorney's fees. Reasonable amount of attorney's fees. So that's
But remember also, in this case, there was a distinction of implied immunity, protected, and I think it was, early on it was said that this was personal, on the personal side, yet we covered it. This was not on the other side, where as our official capacity, right?
No.
Nobody's talking here about official capacity.
Yes.
Okay. What we are talking,
Mr. Jones?
It's a color of law claim, Commissioner. It arises out of his authority as a commissioner. It's not a personal claim. He was sued because of his alleged actions as a commissioner. There are two ways to get to a constitutional claim like that. It's color of law, and then there's something called a Monell claim. This was a color of law claim, so it wasn't personal.
Let me ask a question. Do we even have the authority to do this, because the legislature and the Florida Supreme Court has weighed in on that we have an absolute right to have attorney's fees paid for when we are sued in our capacity. And from, I don't know.
in our capacity.
But he was sued in his capacity.
If
Mr.
he's
Ju-
sued in his
wait, let
capacity,
me
then
finish.
why did they go after his personal properties, and why did a jury concur and said, yes, we are siding with the plaintiff, and we agree that if not, because you can't go after my personal properties if I'm acting in an official capacity, right, under doing my job. Why are you, somebody explain to me, because I've been asking this question since I got here,
So, Commissioner-
and I'd like to know that answer. by
So,
the way.
Commissioner Gabella, I wasn't finished. So,
Sorry.
It's okay. When we were in law school, we learned that state law couldn't supersede federal law. Local laws couldn't supersede state law or federal law. So, would we be trying to supersede a law that has already passed? Particularly, I know the Florida Supreme Court has weighed in on this. Right. And I will not be in favor of voting for something that goes against already established law.
The Florida Supreme Court already weighed in, and they said no. What we're talking about is not going to the United States Supreme Court on the federal level.
I asked the attorneys.
What Madam Chair is saying is that, and actually, Chapter 111 of the Florida statutes provides that elected officials should be covered for the defense of their claims. That statute actually has some language that's somewhat discretionary. Some cities had, in the past, decided not to cover their elected officials in an advanced capacity. That case went up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court determined that not only the statute protects you, but as a matter of the common law of the state of Florida, you're protected, and ordered that regardless of what the statute says, an elected official at trial is entitled to a defense. The only thing, and I would not want to make law on this on behalf of the city of Miami, but the only thing I will tell you is that there's not very, I don't think there's any cases that determine whether or not the city continues to be obligated to pay on appeals. It's clear at the trial level that we are obligated to pay, and of course, if you prevail in any of the stages of the trial, we are obligated to pay. But what's not clear, and I don't know if you want to test the waters, is whether or not the city should pay appellate fees moving forward. This is one plan that would say, all right, we'll cover some of the appellate fees through the first tier, through the mandate, but we'll make you pay your own fees during the Supreme Court level.
We're talking about the federal level only. That's what we're talking about.
Well, no, it would be either state or federal level.
No, but we're saying that we're going to pay for the trial. We're going to pay for the state appeal,
right?
And the second, and then the last one, the en banc.
But
and that's where it ends. When
right.
you go to the federal level, to the United States Supreme
right.
Court, we're not going to cover that. That's what we're saying.
But just remember that if you're sued in state court, you go trial level, appellate court, Florida Supreme Court, it ends there, unless there's a federal question. We don't go to the United States Supreme Court on a state court case. So that's why I'm saying there are two separate systems that move parallel. So this would cover, if you're sued in federal court, your district court, your 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, but you would not be covered to the United States Supreme Court.
But George, permit me, but if this was not legal, hell, why did you even let me put it on?
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, I was just explaining that there is no automatic appeal to the United States Supreme Court in a state case.
But that's not my argument. That's not what
I know.
I'm
I was just clarifying the record.
That's not my argument. Is simple. Okay, We are going to cover you for trial. We are going to cover you for your first appeal, what I call the first appeal. We are then going to cover you on the second appeal, the en banc, which happened already, which he lost, okay? We're going to cover you up to that point, okay? And then from that point forward, going to the federal level, going to the United States Supreme Court, you're on your own. That's what we're saying. And then if you win there, we're going to reimburse you, like the law says. That's it. Plain and simple.
And I think maybe there's an opportunity here to defer this to the next meeting and get a little more information about this.
Absolutely. If you want to defer, I mean,
Because
this is the second time we deferred it, by
If
the
it's
way.
the will of the body that you want to defer it, that's fine. Give me a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
To October 23rd?
Yep.
Item is deferred to October 23rd.
Keep in mind, this is the second time we deferred.
Yep.
I mean, the only reason I'm saying that is because obviously what we're trying to do here is protect the taxpayers from when an elected official acts in an illegal capacity or any kind of illegality.
That's all.
That's all.
Correct.
And what's the best way to do it is obviously super technical, to my left. So I think if we maybe try to find a way to accomplish that goal in a way that works for all of us, we'd be better off.
Okay.
RE6 was pulled.
Yeah, on RE6, I just wanted to explain why this got here. There's been a 27% cut with NOAA, and there's an expected cut in NOAA and National Weather Service staff of 20 to 40%, to the point where some of these systems are really impacting our ability to predict accurately and manage accurately emergency preparedness when it comes to hurricanes. So I just want to make sure as a city we're advocating, and that's what the Climate Resiliency Committee was doing, is saying, folks, please stay on top of this and advocate for us, because if we lose any of these systems and people, we here, especially in the city of Miami and our coastline and in our region, we will be really adversely impacted. So that's what they're trying to say. That's what John Morales was saying earlier, and that's what I'm repeating here. Let's just stay on top of it and make sure that our voices are loud when it comes to these issues.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Someone pulled
Yeah, that was me,
RE7.
RE7. Okay, so plain and simple, real quick, you know, I'm a man of not long speeches, okay? Unless when I have to, that I'm drawn in. But here's the thing. I think my personal view is Commissioner Carollo, with all due respect, is about to leave as commissioner. His term is up. I think this should be left to the next commissioner that comes in, whether it is his brother or whether it is somebody else, Rolando or Brenda or whoever, Denise Galvez, whoever it is that's running, that comes in, I think it should be left up to them to see what they want to do and continue to do with this. I don't think this should be saddled on the next commissioner, if you will. That's my only objection to this. I think the incoming commissioner, whoever it be, I think should decide on this, because he's going to be there at least for the next 4 years. That's my take. Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
RE7. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
It's a motion.
No. Wait, motion.
different.
No, my motion is to deny it. My motion is not to grant it. I'm sorry. I apologize. So the seven, what I said was, Commissioner Carollo, that you are leaving now because you are termed out, you're running for mayor, and we don't know who the next commissioner is, whether it's going to be your brother or Escalona or Galvez or Brenda Betancourt. We don't know who really it's going to be. And what I said was, what I think is that the next commissioner shouldn't be saddled with that, that decision. I think shouldn't be saddled with that decision. It should be that commissioner that comes in. After all, they're going to be there for the next 4 years to take that action one way or the other. That's what I said, and I leave it there.
If I could answer, Madam Chair, thank you. Let me say this.
Can't hear you.
Number one, no one's being settled with anything. This is property that the city of Miami will be the one that's owning. It's very hard to get sizable pieces of property on A Street right now. I've been lucky that I've been able to amass properties for the city. properties for affordable housing, for workforce housing, and for, through Miami 21, retail for the bottom. This is not the first time I've done it. This commission has voted. The problem with this particular property is that there are individuals that I think own bars that own property next door, and they really would like to get this property also. And they're trying to stop the city from buying it. Now, all that I'm doing is with monies that we have in this district that would help whoever the next commissioner is in the district, provide more affordable public housing, and for the city to control whatever retail underneath Miami 21 requires. And no skin off my back, whether we approve it or not. This is being done for the city's future. And I'm sorry if Ms. Galvez is running for commissioner, and it's definitely one that would not win. Her individual that has employed her and her husband in different ways is requesting that she lobbies so that the city doesn't buy this land, so then they could then maybe be able to buy it. But bottom line is, you know, it's a will of the commission. I mean, I'm trying to do what's right. Even in the last couple of months that I'll be voting from here. Once I sit up there, it's a different story. But the whatever the commission wants, it's fine. It's, you know, this is for all of your future. It's not for mine. It doesn't bother me one way or another, whatever this body wants to do.
Let me just state on the record, I have not spoken to Ms. Galvez about this. This is my own decision, the way I see it, with all due respect. You know, I just want to make that clear. Nobody, no commissioner, including your brother, has ever spoken to me, one way or the other, have, you know, yet to speak on this topic with any of them. So I just want to put that on the record. This is
She was the only one that came up here in a public meeting that spoke against it. That's why I mentioned it.
I'm sorry?
She was the only one that spoke against it
Well,
in a public meeting here.
I believe you, but I don't even remember that meeting. But I can tell you that my decision is not based on that.
Right.
Nor I had
Okay.
any
Madam
conversation
Chair.
with her.
Okay.
I categorically can tell you that
Commissioner
that's
Pardo?
not the case.
Commissioner
Yeah,
Pardo?
no, Commissioner Carollo, I just wanted to know your vision about the property. I think that's a good idea as far as Little Havana. I know the property very well. I know where it is, affordable housing, park space, workforce housing. But I'm curious as
No park space. It's
definitely
affordable
not park.
workforce housing.
Okay.
In Miami 21 requires in anything that's built.
that way Live Local can, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commissioner Rosado? So, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, could somebody remind us, whether it's the commissioner or the staff, how many units, do we know how many units approximately could be built and what the breakdown is per the number of units?
We do not have a developer in this one yet, but from the size of the land, it's around 25,000 square feet. You should be able to build there approximately 125 units plus whatever retail and parking that is required by Miami 21.
So I'd just like to say, we're all going to be in the situation where Commissioner Carollo is in, and I'm not going to vote against this because there are going to be projects that each one of us are passionate about. We want to see. We're term limited, so we only have X, and I would not vote against any of you who want to do something in your district before you leave office. So I won't be in favor
Unless
of.
it's a billboard. Unless it's a billboard.
No billboards there.
Not that I'm remembering anything. Anyway.
You're good with that. That was a good one. That was a good one. So Commissioner Gabella has a motion on the floor to deny.
No, listen, I'm hearing you guys correctly. You guys are in favor of it. I respect you all. By the way, let me just put the record. When Commissioner Gallardo had to vote against me in the Alapata CRA, which is important, he did, and I'm not doing that because of this. So you know what? I'll retrieve my motion to deny because I understand the way I'm reading you guys. There's a motion to help him out. So I'm okay with that. You guys make
Not,
a motion.
but hear what I'm saying. Not to help him out, but to respect each commissioner, because you may very well have something when you're leaving.
I did. He alloped a CRA and he voted against it, and I respected from that. I said I respect you. I don't have a problem.
but
So I'm not going to change my vote. My vote is no. You guys
I'm
go ahead and
speaking
vote
in
yes.
favor. I'm speaking for me.
Right. No,
Because I
understand.
voted for the alloped
I
CRA.
respect it. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
But
You
I'm,
did. Thank you.
I'm saying that for all of us, we will all be in a similar situation where it's coming to the end of our term, and we will have projects that we want to see. So I wouldn't say, oh, Commissioner, you can't do that because you're about to leave office. And I wouldn't want anyone to do that to me either.
Okay.
So
Well, I respect
he
your decision.
rescinded,
I'd like to
he
differ,
pulled
but-
his,
Yeah.
so do I have a motion
Yes.
for RE7?
Yes. Second.
So I have a motion from Commissioner Rosado, a second from Commissioner Pardo. All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Aye. Motion passes 4-1.
It's a great location and an important cause.
Okay. So we are on our second reading items. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the titles for our second reading items into the record?
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you. SR1, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 6 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended. City Code titled Administration, Lobbyist, to amend applicability, definitions, registrations, and disclosure requirements and penalties for violations to clarify ambiguous language, add exceptions, and align said provisions with the applicable laws governing lobbyist activities, containing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. SR2, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 2-32 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended. City Code titled Time and Place of Meeting, to permit cancellation of City Commission meetings by specified elected officials with advance written notice to the City Clerk, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. SR3, ordinance, second reading, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 36, Section 36-4 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Noise, Operation of Radios, Phonographs, or Other Sound-Making Devices, Bands, Orchestras, and Musicians generally, in Chapter 36, Section 36-5 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Noise, Same, Hours of Operation of Jukeboxes, Radios, etc., Exemptions for Events on City-Owned Property, Relaxation, to create a pilot program for the Overtown Entertainment District using decibel reading with a base dBc of 68, creating scaled violations and required open-air venue noise attenuation devices, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. SR4, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 31, Article 2, Section 31-51 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Local Business Tax and Miscellaneous Business Regulations, Local Business Tax BTR, food trucks operating on private land, to amend distance separation requirements for food truck activity and to update this section to comply with new City Code Chapter 52 for special events containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. That concludes the second reading items, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Gentlemen, are there any second reading items that you would like to pull for discussion? SR 1, 2, 3, or 4?
No. Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the first reading items remaining, which would be FR 2, 3, and 4 for consideration?
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
I just put FR4 just for a quick discussion? I need some clarification on it.
And I'll pull FR2 just to
You want to
talk
pull
about.
FR2?
Yeah, just briefly.
Okay, FR2 and FR4 have been pulled, but we still need
Right.
to have the titles read into the record.
Thank you, Madam Chair. FR2, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, amending Chapter 50, Article 4, Section 158 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Ships, Vessels, and Waterway, Miami Vessel Mooring Code Reserved, to allow for vessel anchorage limitation as provided by Section 327.60, parentheses 2F3, Florida statutes in specified areas, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. FR4, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, particularly, I'm sorry, I skipped FR3. FR3, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 38, Article 1 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended City Code titled Parks and Recreation in General by creating Section 38-39 titled Naming of Rebecca Sosa Park, further directing the city manager to take any and all actions necessary to effectuate the naming of the park, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. FR4, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments temporarily designating a portion of the City of Miami as a clean zone, which will provide for the safe and orderly use of city venues, streets, and sidewalks by vendors, peddlers, street ticket sellers, and pedestrians during the 2026 Federation Internationale de Football Association, FIFA World Cup, and FIFA World Cup related events established between the city and the FIFA World Cup 2026 Miami Host Committee activities in the clean zone, establishing terms and conditions for the activities in order to regulate commercial activities during the 2026 FIFA World Cup and related events in the clean zone, beginning at 12:01 a.m. on Monday, June 8th, 2026, and ending at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, July 20th, 2026, and further prohibiting the sale, offer for sale, or distribution of counterfeit goods, tickets, wares, and merchandise of FIFA or the FIFA World Cup 2026 Miami Host Committee. That concludes the first reading items, Madam Chair.
So FR2 and FR4 have been pulled. May I have a motion for FR3?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Congratulations. FR2,
So on FR2, I wanted to thank Miami Beach Commissioner David Suarez, and it's important that we're passing this in the city of Miami because these are restrictions that, if not implemented here, basically takes their problem of Miami Beach and moves it to us in the city of Miami. But it makes us stronger. It places a 300-foot barrier around mooring fields and other restrictions. The root of this problem are derelict vessels and boats which are also used as Airbnb and short-term rentals. So this is trying to stop that kind of activity, which really hurts the seagrass at the bottom of our bay. It's bad for the environment. It costs us as a city about $70,000 to get rid of one derelict vessel. So it's a very, very big problem. Marine Patrol has been an amazing partner. I have to thank the Chief, Lieutenant Cotto, and everyone else that has worked with our office on this. That's all I wanted to say. I appreciate your support.
do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
I just have a brief question on FR4. What does this mean, safe zones or clean zones, and how many of them are we going to have, or where will they be at? Is the city still going to control it? Is it going to be FIFA?
I was hoping somebody from FIFA would be here. All right, what is a clean
Someone
zone?
from FIFA, their
right.
representatives are here.
Let me just explain real briefly. A clean zone is basically, and there's an exhibit in the legislation that shows the area that is designated as the clean zone.
Okay.
And so,
Where would that be?
I believe it's 14th to the north, and it goes along the river on the east, the river on the south, and I guess Biscayne Bay.
Okay, so
to the
will it be
It's all
all
downtown, basically.
Biscayne Boulevard?
Yes,
This is what
Biscayne
we're talking
Boulevard
about?
sort of runs through the center.
Okay, in front of the parks, Adrian Center, does it go that far or not?
Commissioner Felipe Angulo, 235 Catalonia Avenue, here with Carlo Fortuny. I don't believe it goes all the way over to where the Adrian Arts Center is.
Okay, so it stops by the expressway and...
I believe that's the line, sir.
And then from there all the way to Miami River?
The boundary does extend west to that point.
Okay.
I'd be happy to sit with you in a map.
Okay, what does it mean by a clean zone?
Commissioner, the focus on the clean zones is for unauthorized merchandise that's being sold by individuals that tend to come in major events like this. It's also to ensure that of course, counterfeit goods, counterfeit tickets, all of that.
Well, that should be citywide. I mean, that we just can't allow that for you or for anybody, the Miami Dolphins, the Heat, UN.
Commissioner, we couldn't agree with you more, but we understand that we allow for City of Miami Police and code enforcement to be able to then push out folks that are unlicensed or not on certain lists that are selling counterfeit goods or unlicensed goods. from that immediate area where we know
Okay,
there's
now-
going to be a focus.
My next question is FIFA going to be having people out there in the streets selling?
So, sir, to my understanding, tickets will not be sold out on the street by FIFA.
Okay, tickets, but about merchandise and another.
Merchandise is going to be FanFest, which we're partnering with the city of Miami.
All right.
That is where
Okay, so that's
sponsors and
inside.
folks
It's not
will
going to
give it
be
out.
all over that area, the sidewalks and stuff. Okay?
No, sir. Our goal is to have a clean
All right,
area there.
that's understood then. That's what I was trying to get forward, and it's fine. I'll make the motion.
I got a problem with it. Hang on a minute.
Commissioner?
Yeah. I've got a problem with this, and I'm going to go for it, but in the second reading, I'm going to have a lot more questions. Because here's the thing. If you're telling me, and by the way, like I expressed to you guys, I had a bad experience with FIFA and Bayfront Trust this past weekend, where we were kind enough that we gave them the place in kind. We didn't charge them. And they didn't want anybody to talk. They were very rude, you know what I mean? And I just want to put it out there so they hear, you know what I mean? Because I think, you know, if we extend a courtesy to bring you and to host you, I think you should extend the same, being a good, a good corporate citizen, and and acknowledge the mayor of the county was there, Cava, our city mayor was there, I was there, and the city clerk Barkeen was also there, and there were some things that were not correct there, you know, and I want to bring it to light because this worries me. If you're trying to take counterfeit out, I agree with that. It should be citywide, not only there. Now, if what you're saying to me is that they're going to have the whole run of the downtown, and it's only going to be and it's going to be monopolized, then I got a problem with that.
Right.
So I will sit down with you guys, and I want clarification because I think that's what I'm hearing. But I'm going to go along with this. But on second reading, you know what I mean? If this isn't cleared up, you know what I mean? I've got a problem with this, honestly speaking.
Commissioner,
So,
yes, ma'am.
let me weigh in on this. I'm not in favor of voting for this right now. My issue is small businesses in the city of Miami.
That is
This
correct.
is going to be a huge economic boon for the city of Miami and for our local small businesses. They should be able to have a piece of this pie because this pie is huge. And I have spoken to some small businesses in my district that have tried to become a part of this FIFA fan something experience. And until you give me some assurance that small businesses in the city of Miami, in District 5, in District 1, in District 2, in District 3, in District 4, have participation in this event that is happening in the city of Miami, I will not be in favor of this. So I would recommend a deferral.
Okay.
I'm going to vote for you.
I will agree with that. And this is what I was trying to get
I don't want to.
but-
I don't want to. I know I've brought this to your attention.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want to rush this. I don't like to pass things on first reading because then on second reading you think it's going to go. But I want some definitive assurances. I want some contracts. I want something that we can take to court if the city of Miami, our small businesses are not allowed to participate
Okay.
in this fan
There's a
experience.
motion to defer.
And let me add just one more thing. Okay, the fact that every time that I've heard from them, well, we're doing a good thing for you because we're doing this for free and kids are going to, they're promoting their sport, my friend. They're promoting their sport. You know what I mean? You know, DDA, you guys gave them $100,000. What was it? Before you were there? Yeah, you did. There was something going on. But somebody gave something, and it was in the
The
news.
city-
I believe it was a different sporting
The
match.
city has
Yeah,
given
different-
$5 million for this to
That's right.
cover
Yes, Madam Chair.
police, fire,
Right.
and all kind of stuff. We have made a huge investment in this event, and again, this event will generate millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Madam Chair, when you're done.
I'm finished.
Well, I just had a quick question. Are
Yes,
there
sir.
ways that you are involving businesses throughout
I'm glad you asked, Commissioner and Madam Chair. I wanted to let you know for everybody up on the dais. We actually are launching our small local business event. It's going to be in October 21st or 22nd. I'll get clarity on the exact date. Once we have all the details there, we do want to make sure that your constituents are invited as well, so that we have active participation in the city of Miami. We
The way,
understand you
the
guys
way
are-
I understood this, the primary impetus behind this was to stop bad actors, people that are trying to counterfeit merchandise or counterfeit but all of my colleagues raised really, really good points.
Of course.
So it sounds like we need a better briefing and better materials to really understand the item.
We're happy to sit down with each of you and fully brief you on it, and
Thank you.
hopefully get you comfortable.
Look, that surprises me that they want to meet now with business on stuff, because in the park, they wanted nothing to do with us. Okay, and that was for free, by the way, what they got. They played zero. They paid zero. Okay, and they were very rude to their hosts. Let me tell you. And I am concerned for my business owners, just like the Madam Chairman is, that they're, we're going to get overridden. You know what I mean? And and that business that again, because that upsets me. If you come to me and you tell me the way it is, I got a problem with
Right.
people trying to insult my intellect and tell me that they come here and we're doing all this stuff for them, with, like the chairwoman says, $5 million, and then they say to you, oh, we're doing this, and it should be enough for you guys that these people can come and look at our game on a TV and screen. No, my friend, they are a for-profit organization. I've got nothing against FIFA. I mean, hell, I have two daughters, and the oldest one, she's married to an Argentine, and soccer's talked about all the time.
Right.
And my grandkids, they're in soccer. I love the sport, but this business that you guys are doing is always a favor, no. They're doing themselves a favor also, because they are promoting their sport to people that would otherwise, So I would urge them to be a little bit more kinder. There's plenty to go around. There's plenty of money to go around for them and for our business owners, but you cannot come in here, okay, and try to take our business owners and our people out of the equation. That's not going to work, and that's where I stand, by the way. And you know what? I'm going to side with you, and I think this should be deferred, not even do the first reading.
Yeah, we definitely need to ensure representation for minorities, women-owned businesses.
Without question. Yeah, understood.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in
I'm
favor?
sorry, Chair, who's the seconder?
Commissioner Pardo, I think.
That's good.
I have a motion and a second to defer this to the next commission meeting,
next commission
October 23rd. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Can
carries
we
unanimously.
go to PCs?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. City Attorney, could you please read the titles in for the record?
The two PZ items, yes, Madam Chair. PZ1, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending ordinance number 10544 as amended, the future land use map of the Miami Comprehensive Neighborhood Plan pursuant to small-scale amendment procedures subject to section 163.3187 Florida statutes by changing the future land use designation from medium-density restricted commercial to restricted commercial of the acreage described herein of real property at 840 Southwest 6th Avenue and 601 Southwest 9th Street, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings, containing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. FR2, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, Miami 21 Code, by changing the zoning classification from T5L, Urban Center Transect Zone, limited to T680, Urban Core Transect Zone, open, of the property generally located at 601 Southwest 9th Street and 840 Southwest 6th Avenue, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated, making findings, containing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. That concludes the PZ items.
Thank you. Gentlemen, are any of the PZ items 1 or 2 you want to pull for discussion? No. We're on PZs.
Where are we, PZ?
PZ 1 or 2.
Oh, we skipped the DA?
Yeah, skip the discussion items.
Okay, we're coming back to that.
Uh-huh.
All right. No, I've got
No?
no.
Anybody? May I have a motion?
Move.
Second? I got a motion and a second. All-
Chair?
Yes?
And just briefly, PZ1 and PZ2 need to be amended to add PZAP information in the first whereas clause for PZ1 and 2.
As amended. Move.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Now we are at our discussion items. Commissioner Gabello, you wanted to...
Yeah, we didn't do D1. Somebody pulled D1.
No, nobody pulled it. We haven't pulled anything for...
But did,
So the
no, we did.
D2 and D3 have...
No, I got rid of that, and then we got rid of D4.
You want to get...
No, that was done already.
Yeah, D4.
Right?
I didn't
So we only got
scratch that
D1
out.
and D5 on
You
the
only have
roster, right?
D1 and D5.
Okay, so my thing is D5. I want to talk real quick about it.
Okay, wait. Let's do D1. Who's got D1 first?
Move.
It's just discussion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Whose item is it? It's you guys? Yes. Hi, okay, administration. Let us hear about your,
Good afternoon, Julia Serrato with the Building Department on DI.1. DI.1 is an update to the City Commission based off on a directive that was provided with the Commercial Amnesty Program. We provided a memo, and ultimately there were 4 properties that took advantage of the program. The purpose of this update is to determine whether we would like to extend the pilot program or vote for it permanently or not.
so how long has the pilot program been in existence?
Since September last year.
So a year now?
Yes, ma'am.
And in your opinion, it's worked well?
Yes, I think we could benefit. Yes, I think we can benefit from promoting it more so that we could have more folks take advantage.
I like the program, so I would be in favor of taking it out of pilot program status and making it a permanent legislation. I'm going to defer to my colleague, Commissioner Pardo.
Yeah, I would also be in favor of that, but I did, during our briefing, I was wondering how many is the total amount available for this program?
So currently there are about 600 properties that could potentially benefit. However, the properties would have to be sold.
Yeah, I got it. It's difficult and there hasn't been a lot of focus on it, but if we make it permanent, there will be. I really like it. I really like this program. Yeah.
No, I'm ready for a vote. Let's
I
go.
lost 2. I don't know where they went.
Oh, we have a quorum.
3. We got a
can
quorum.
pass
Chair,
it.
it is just a discussion item.
Discussion.
Oh, that's all it is, okay.
But can we make
can
a
just
motion?
direct them.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
direction.
so we'll make
To make it a permanent.
I think that's clear.
Okay, so come back with us with the permanent program for legislation so that we can pass it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gabello, you wanted
Okay,
to
so
say
DI5
something?
is that, all we're doing today is discussion. Is that correct? Okay, and I think this involves you guys too, everybody. Because remember, this is our police department and where they're going to be located. What's that? Yeah. So this is our police department. I think it's going to involve all you guys. Everybody's got a stake in this, where it's going to be located, where it's not. The way I see it is, there's 2 options right now that was brought to me, at least in a way. I'm sure you were briefed on it also. And there's 2 footprints. One in close to Biscayne Boulevard, about 3 blocks west of the bay, which is dangerous because if there's a flood, it might get flooded out. Our emergency management, my manager's going to be there. Everything's going to run from there. So that's, if we're responsible, we're not going to do it there, right? Because it's going to be for years, to stay there. So we're talking about my area to come to Freedom Park, okay, on 37th Ave, okay, and I've already, I'm with it. You guys know I'm pro-police. I mean, no question about that. And I know that they need a headquarters. It's been long overdue. I know that, okay. My only question is the traffic situation, okay, the traffic situation, because I have residents west of 37th Avenue that have concerns, a lot of concerns because of the, the traffic, the Freedom Park. I mean, it's basically going to be a small city, okay? You're going to have also that city center there, where you're going to have parks, a park, and then you're going to have restaurants. So it's going to be a miniature city. And then add to that, we got the MRC building, which is coming there. That's already happening. That's a done deal. And now we're talking about this, which is fine by me. But I need, so I can assure my people, that the traffic situation will be handled in a responsible manner. And what I think I said was, I asked if they can come in through Lejeune, like everybody else in the park is coming, and then the egress can be on 37th Ave. Something to that nature, that the residents, feel assured that we're not just, cramming this, down their throats, but, we're going to think about this methodically. We're going to plan it out. I know we need it. I'm all for it, but I ask you, ladies and gentlemen up here, to please help me in it. And this has to do with everybody's district. I know you were out, of the police headquarters. But at the end of the day, I hope we have a detailed discussion on the traffic situation again, and that to bring the effect of the of that problem, consequence that comes along with it, with the police headquarters dispatching cars. Although I've been told that there's going to be maybe 100 cars there, 150 police cars. Okay, so it's not the whole fleet of police cars, right? And also, I say, well, maybe we can put an ordinance that, you know, if they dispatch a police car, they can't turn the sirens off, you know, for a radius of, I don't know, X miles, so they won't be bothered all the time. But on top of that, what really worries me is the traffic situation, and I hope, again, that we can discuss this in further detail and come up with a good plan that's going to satisfy everybody.
Chair?
I think staff should already be working on traffic mitigation, and because he's right, a lot of traffic is going to be falling into that area. I'm not in favor of the police station going. It's so far away, but I understand that we are limited in where it can go because of city assets we don't have. So I'm going, you know, I'm not against it going to the Miami Freedom Park, but the traffic will be a nightmare. So staff should already be working on how the traffic is going to flow into this community, because it really is a sleepy community. It's a residential area, correct?
Correct.
And, you know, now it's going to be the hustle and bustle of the MRC, the police, and the fire station. The fire headquarters will be there. So we need to be cognizant and considerate of the neighborhood that is already existing. So I would support my colleague on, you know, having a traffic study and some proposals to mitigate the traffic that will be in this area now.
Chairwoman?
Commissioner?
Look, I think Commissioner Guevara brought up a valid point, and you brought up an additional valid point that are two out of the three that I wanted to speak about. While it'd be great to be able to put the police headquarters, fire headquarters there, it is not practical, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why. One is what Commissioner Guevara has mentioned, the traffic there. Imagine when you have soccer games, other activities there, it is going to be extremely difficult to get police vehicles in and out. Or if you have other emergencies, it's going to cause a true hardship. And you're going to have police vehicles that are not going to be able to get out as quickly as they need to provide what could be life and health timely issues for them to get there. On top of that is the secondary problem of it is so far away from the heart of the city. This is the extreme west part of the city. That in itself, I think, presents a major problem. Lastly, I don't know why we're going there when we have additional lands that we could use that are much more centralized without any of the problems that I'm hearing for one of the sites that's being presented. And I don't think this has been thought out at all by our people, our staff. And look, if I was taught one thing when I was 24 years old and older when I started here by Maurice Ferre, that was a mentor to me, he had a lot of vision. He was well-traveled. I believe I've shown a lot of vision. I've been very well-traveled. And the present location, I don't know what the story is, why that location is not wanted. I don't know if there are some developers that are trying to get it from the city to use, but I will tell you this, the present location is a usable location. The parking behind the police station is not being used anymore. because you can use it. You could tear down the parking structure, the parking building that we have in the back, and do an L shape towards the side of the police station that's there now. That L is wide enough so you could do floors of parking. That should be more than enough on the L shape alone. And then on the area that's covered by the present parking structure, you could go up and build 6, 8 stories, whatever you need, for the police department. And this could be done right there while the present station is still in use. Once you built it, then you could tear down the present station. If you need more parking, add more parking. If you want to put a little more space for the police department, you can still build it. And you'll have the room for the fire department, ample room. And you're still in a centrally located area for this whole city where the police department has been for decades. So I submit to all of you here, my colleagues, that we look at this present location with the solution that I presented. There's a feasible solution. You could use the station that you have there while we tear the back parking and do the L shape. You build your station in the back, the L shape is parking. Once that's built, you tear the building in the front. You could build your fire administration building. And if you need any additional parking, if you need any additional space, you could build it there then. And it gets all accomplished in the best way in a centrally located area for the city of Miami.
Commissioner Pardo?
I just wanted to add that at least in the central part of the city and the urban core, the traffic situation is horrible. I mean, if we're thinking that by bringing it back to more of a central location, things would get better between rail and traffic and the congestion we're already experiencing in that area, I think it would be very difficult. So I look forward to hear more about the analysis of traffic around the site locations from staff. And I'm wondering, from staff, would you like to share anything on this topic that you may already have for us?
So let me kind of interject a little bit. So we certainly could analyze repurposing the existing site for a new public safety building and do that analysis, lay it out for purposes of providing the information to the commission. I don't have any issue with that at all. There are two key factors to why that site wasn't considered. One was we're part of the opportunity here to offset the cost of building the new public safety building, right, is the repurposing and disposition of both the fire headquarters and the city and the police headquarters, right? The site that we're using at Miami Freedom Park won't be used for anything else, right? So it's the location isn't intended for any other commercial use, isn't intended to be repurposed in any other way. So there's a monetary benefit to doing that. The other side of it is a logistical benefit. And that's why I'm happy to do the analysis. Commissioner Carollo, when we met and briefed him, he offered this as a suggestion, and we certainly could analyze the repositioning of the public safety building there, what that would mean logistically. That garage footprint that exists now is not, in and of itself not big enough to house the building at the size and scale because we're combining two departments into one building.
But you'll be going up, just like the police station that's there now has several floors. You'll go up.
I'm not disputing that. The issue, though, is, and from a construction perspective, the footprint we're using at Miami Freedom Park is bigger and wider. You don't have to go as high, so it's a little more cost effective. The second you start to go up a lot higher, especially in that particular footprint.
You don't have to go higher than 8 stories, and you keep the cost down, Mr. Manager.
I'm not certain that you can't.
You can.
I think we could certainly analyze that, but that was the reason why we sort of isolated those two locations. I'm happy to go back and have AECOM look at that particular footprint, do an analysis, and we could come back and represent. For us, the issue really is, I think this was sparked by a discussion item that Commissioner Rosado asked to put on the agenda, more for purposes of, hey, we have this deteriorating police building. What's our plan, right? Do we have a plan for, are we going to just rebuild, repair what we have now, or are we going to actually build a new facility? And I think that's what sparked this discussion. So we decided, hey, let's be prepared to have that discussion beyond the individual briefings that we've had. I think we could easily go back and analyze that and come back and to Commissioner Carrillo's suggestion, speak to the merits of that as a potential location.
Thank you. Okay.
One additional area that I'd like to add, that in the Miami Freedom Park site, we already approved in this fiscal year's budget firefighters to be there manning ambulances, and I think we'd agreed that in the next fiscal year's budget or the following, we would make a small station there, fire station, with actual fire trucks and everything. Now, I would also suggest that if we do not go with a fire safety building or police fire safety building there, then we put a small substation of police there also for that area. The other side, which is the only other one that you all were analyzing, part of the problem that I see is what you stated to me at the time, that it's too close to the water. And if we have hurricanes or any major storm, it could get flooded. Therefore, for us to build something there is going to be much, much more costlier, because we're going to have to go up. And even so, if it gets flooded, it will be unusable, for us. So I think our limitations are limited, and this is why I'm suggesting the present site. And look, here's the L shape that I'm talking about. Once you tear down the building that's there, after you build everything around it, you could then make another one. You have a square with your front open. You could build another site for fire and any additional space the police would need, and it will all be connected with one another. So this site, in my opinion, is still the ideal site. You have 95 right behind you to get in it. It doesn't have the traffic that other parts of that area do have. So I think that's the best solution right now out of the three sites that we have. The two you proposed, I'm proposing this one back, unless there's something out there that we've all overlooked in city-owned land. I suggest that that's the place. There is a fourth, I'm sorry, that could have a possibility in this in D1. They're still centrally located. We got 20 acres there. But I don't know too many other places outside of that.
I just wanted to say that look, when you guys had the flooding, I believe it was last year or early this year, a while back, I took a tour of your building. You gave me a tour, Chief, and I took the tour, and I saw how bad the conditions are. And I understand you need a station. I mean, nobody's talking about that. And then there was supposed to be a plan. I think I spoke to you, Art, that you guys were supposed to be put a plan together back then, and we were going to get together, and then that never happened. I even spoke to you about the Pan American Hospital site, of using that as a temporary thing while then this building over there in downtown was being built. You know what I mean? Then you go back to that, right? But nobody ever came to my office, and we never discussed it. It fell by the wayside. And then you guys all of a sudden showed up, with this, which, by the way, I'm for it, as long as the traffic situation is taken care of. And then the commissioner does have a point. The ingress and egress of, going out of the, when you dispatch in the middle of a game, how are you going to deal with that? Have you guys thought on that? Can you elaborate on that, situation there that, you're dispatching now in the middle of a game, and now that's full of traffic on 37th Avenue. How does that work?
Or before a game starts, when everybody's trying to get into the park or get out of the park.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Manny Morales, Chief of Police for Northwest 2nd Avenue. Commissioner, like we spoke about at the briefing, the vast majority of police calls, I'm not going to speak for Chief Heavy on fire rescue, will not be dispatched out of that building. I understand the traffic concerns. I understand the noise concerns. But I think that if you check with the residents around our North Station at 1000 Northwest 62 or the South Station at 2200 West Flagler, you'll see that every once in a while there'll be some sirens going out of there, but the vast majority of the time I want, and I'm sure you all want, the cops to be out in the neighborhoods, right? We don't want them sitting at the station. They do go back to process paperwork, to process any type of arrest, but that's not going to be too much of an issue for us, all right? And now, when it comes to traffic concerns, I think it will be the same thing during games or pre or post. Would be very similar to what we deal with in Marlins Stadium, for example, where we have a comprehensive traffic plan, or at the Casella Center when we do the Heat games, right? It'll be chaotic for a little bit just because you're fitting in 20, 30,000 people into an infrastructure that it's out of our control, but we do the best we can to mitigate traffic and free up the choke points. We can always improve on that. I think that now with the use of drones, we're able to kind of identify real time when these traffic tie-ups are happening and what actions are needed to kind of mitigate those. So we're working on it, and listen, I know we're planning ahead, but this is 3 to 5 years out. By the time we get there, technology would have advanced. Hopefully the county has made a more serious investment in our infrastructure, in the way that the traffic timing on our lights occurs. That'll be a lot more efficient. But everybody, there's no doubt on this day is that everyone understands we're in dire need. All our 3 stations are in horrible conditions, right? And just this week, I spoke with our OCI director, and we're going to have to shut down our showers. So I'm in the midst of a hiring frenzy to bring all these new recruits on board. Now I don't have anywhere for the recruits to bathe. I'm going to have to bathe them outside in the trailer because we're trying to reline the pipes. The building is falling apart. So I know you're all aware, and we're going to do this. I know we want to make sure that we pick the perfect site. I can make it work anywhere you guys decide. Chief Hevia can make it work anywhere you decide, right? So we will make sure that our presence there does not deter from our ability to protect the community. We'll make sure that we're an enhancement to the community, that folks are going to be like, hey, the police station is now a place that makes our community safer and better. So any other questions, any other issues?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I have a couple of comments. So I respect the things that you all have brought up, but I have to tell you, the conversation makes me really uncomfortable. And it's one of the first things I did when I was elected is put this as a discussion item for us to make a decision, because I do think we need to consider the feasibility and the traffic considerations of the sites that we've discussed. I'd like to see us remove the Biscayne site off the table, but what I will not absolutely do is support a situation where we're kicking the can down the road one meeting after we sold off the Olympia, right? I feel like this is one of those things that now as we're heading into an election, there could be some new players, et cetera, and suddenly we're in a situation where a building that is in bad shape, that has a garage that is unsafe, that has a surface parking lot with sinkholes, is not addressed sooner rather than later. I do not want to see some protracted discussion. I'd like to have a date certain for when we come back to discuss this and to make a final decision and move forward, because the city has a history of deferred maintenance of major public assets, and that history needs to end with us that are up here right now, and not be part of the set of folks that have led us to this situation that we are now currently in. I won't be part of it.
But not on the backs. But not on the backs of my people.
I completely understand.
I mean, with all due respect, Commissioner, you know what I mean. I'm trying. Look, I want the police, and I hear what you're saying. I'm all for that. Not kicking. By the way, I was there when the flooding. You know, long before you got here, I went to them. Is that not true, Chief? Where are you? Did I not show up with concerns about your building? I think I showed up a long time ago, right? When you had your flooding issue, I was there, right?
Commissioner DeBella,
my point is, Commissioner, I understand where you're coming from, but this ain't going to be rammed down my throat without, input from the community. You know what I mean? And I want to help them out. I want to help the police department. I'm pro-police. Anybody that's been up here with me knows that, we're all pro-police, right, at the end of the day. But I just, that traffic situation has got me worried, that's all. And I'm not saying anything another, but we need to have an understanding, what the priorities are, you know what I mean? And yes, not kick it down the road, but also this is not going to be a thing like take it or leave it, because I'm if I see something come that way, I'm not going for that. Bottom line.
Everybody has valid points, and I think where we relocate the police headquarters and the fire headquarters needs to be with intention and given a lot of thought to it. So I believe you've heard us loud and clear, and thank you. We're not going to kick it down the can. We're not going to kick a can
No,
down
we're not
the
gonna do
road.
that.
We're not doing that, but we also cannot make decisions impulsively. And, so thank you.
Madam Chair, do we have an idea of when the administration could come back with a feasibility analysis that considers the things that folks have discussed? And also, can we eliminate at least one of the sites that was under discussion? We've already, I think, collectively agreed that the Biscayne site shouldn't be on the table, and you shouldn't spend any time analyzing that. Can we narrow down the pool of options so we can move forward? And when could this item come back? Like, I'm comfortable deferring this to the next meeting, knowing that they won't have all the
This is
answers.
just a discussion item. There's nothing happening here. There's nothing to defer to the next meeting. This is a discussion item, and I believe the manager has a clear direction on what we're looking for.
So we'll come back with an updated presentation and some feasibility at the November meeting.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, I believe you have a statement to read for us?
Yes, Madam Chair,
Before
thank you.
we adjourn?
Before you adjourn, yes. Script. Madam Chairwoman and members of the Commission, pursuant to the provisions of Section 286.011, parentheses 8 Florida statutes, I'm requesting that at the City Commission meeting of October 23rd, 2025, an attorney-client session closed to the public be held for purposes of discussing the pending litigation in the matter of William O. Fuller, Martin Penilla II, the Barlington Group, Calle Ocho Marketplace, Yo Amo Calle Siete, Little Havana Arts Building, Little Havana Arts Building 2, Tower Hotel, Brickell Station, Piedra Villas, Futurama, El Shopping, Beat Stick, Viernes Culturales, Cultural Fridays, Inc., Little Havana Bungalows, and LHAB Trust, all LLCs, versus the City of Miami et al., case number 23 CV 24251-RAR, pending in United States District Court, Southern District of Florida, to which the city is presently a party. The subject of the meeting will be confined to settlement negotiations or strategy sessions related to litigation expenditures. This private meeting will begin at approximately 10 a.m. or as soon thereafter as the Commissioner's schedules permit, and conclude approximately 1 hour later. The session will be attended by the members of the City Commission, which include Chairwoman Christine King, Commissioners Miguel Angel Gavella, Damian Pardo, Rafael Rosado, City Attorney George K. Weissong III, Deputy City Attorney Kevin R. Jones, Assistant City Attorney Supervisor Eric Eves, Assistant City Attorney Margaret Snyder, and outside counsel Raquel A. Rodriguez, Esquire, Angel Cortinez, Esquire, and Jonathan Caskell, and City Manager Art Noriega. A certified court reporter will be present to ensure that this session is fully transcribed, and the transcript will be made public upon the conclusion of the litigation. At the conclusion of the attorney-client session, the regular City Commission will be reopened, and the person chairing the Commission meeting will announce the termination of the attorney-client session. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And this shall conclude the City of Miami Commission meeting for October 9th, 2025. Thank you all for your advocacy. And we will now have our Virginia Key Beach Park Trust meeting.
And I just
You
need
guys
60 seconds.
In 60 seconds when they flip the tape. Thank you. Afternoon. Welcome to the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust meeting for October 9th, 2025. I am your chair, Christine King, and we are here with my colleagues, Commissioner Rosado, Commissioner Gabella, Commissioner Pardo, Board Member Vince Brown, and our Executive Director, Ms. Athlete Edwards. We have a few items, 3 items on the agenda. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the 3 items?
Sure. Thomas Fosler, Assistant City Attorney. The first item is a resolution of the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust with attachments approving the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust meeting dates for the 2026 calendar year as set forth in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated, providing for an effective date. The second item is a resolution of the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust with attachments approving and submitting the annual report for the fiscal year 2024-2025 pursuant to Section 2-890 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended City Code, and providing for an effective date. And the third item is a resolution of the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust, the trust authorizing the Executive Director to negotiate and execute a Memorandum of Agreement, MOA, in a form acceptable to the General Counsel between the City of Miami, Florida, the city, and the trust, wherein the city will design and construct the Virginia Key Beach Museum project, and upon transfer of the project to the trust for operations and maintenance, provide additional funding to cover shortfalls in operational costs for a period of 10 fiscal years following said transfer in an amount not to exceed $1,700,000 and no cents. So just to repeat that, $1,700,000 per fiscal year, further authorizing the Executive Director to negotiate and execute any modifications, amendments, and extensions, all in forms acceptable to the General Counsel, as may be deemed necessary for said purpose, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. At this time, I will open the floor for public comment. Seeing none, public comment period is now closed. Gentlemen, may I have a motion to move items 1, 2, and 3?
So moved.
Can I just comment and use this opportunity, if I may? Okay. So, this is a good thing I think that you guys are doing. I think it's long overdue. But how would you feel if I told you today that I have the inclination, if I had the inclination not voting for me, what would you think?
I don't know.
The reason I'm saying that is because I am waiting still for my Alapata CRA, which we passed here a while back. This is a message for the county. This is, I hope they get the memo. Okay, I've been assured that these Alapata, and please indulge me for 2 minutes. I'm going to make it brief, but it's a platform that I have to make my case for my people in Alapata, which I think is also overdue, just like your people in this museum. I think that should have happened a long time ago. And I'm all for it. But I say this because we went through tremendous, strain here, Commissioner Padu, you and I, and the chairwoman, and you weren't here yet, Commissioner Rosado. Carollo was, he's not here now. But the point was, with a lot of effort, it was passed. Okay, with a lot of effort, it was passed. And this gentleman here to my left, he kept his word on what the Omni CRA was going to do. He transferred the $2 million to us like it was, and then there was also supposed to be money coming from the Midtown CRA.
For 5 years, we're doing that.
For 5 years, yeah. And you kept your word, and I thank you for that, for being a gentleman. But the county is dragging their feet. The county is not forthcoming in this good faith effort, and I only mean well for my community. And I please urge the county, if you're listening, please get this done. I've been promised it's going to be done by the end of the year, okay? We're waiting. We're waiting after a lot of due diligence and a lot of work here that this body did. And I thank you, Chairwoman, because you voted with me, and so did Commissioner Padu. You weren't here yet, Commissioner Rosado. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. The people of Alapata thank you from the bottom of their hearts. But I use this occasion to see how You guys are getting a museum. You're going to spend $1.7 million for the next, I believe, 10 years. That's about 17 mil? I calculate, which is good. And you guys are always, you're progressing. I'd like to do that for my community. I'd like to do that for Alapata. I wish I was in these shoes that I can be already passing stuff like this. So I'm going to vote for this. I wish you well, Madam Chair, in this, museum, and everything that goes with it. But please, I urge you to help me maybe draft a letter to the county, all commissioners, that we did this months back. Okay, we did everything that we're supposed to be doing, and they're sitting on it. For what reason? I have no idea. So I urge you to please help me. I'm going to write a letter, and I need your support, okay, to tell the county to stop dragging their feet and please get this done so we can have some progress in Alapata. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We should do a resolution urging the county.
Yes, that's what I meant.
We should do that. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I have a motion. May I have a second?
Yes,
I
second.
have a motion and a second for items 1, 2, and 3. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I have a motion to pass the minutes as well?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Our executive director has a report. Has everyone read the report, or do we need to have the report given to us?
We read it.
Yeah,
I read it. Okay, so that shall conclude the
But-
Virginia Key
I'm so
Beach-
sorry, Chair. But before we conclude, we have 2 absence waivers to hear. as well.
I'm sorry, absence waivers.
We have absent waivers for Jones Peabody, April 10th and October 9th. She did phone in, she had some oral surgery. And then for Vincent Brown, July 10th.
Do we need a motion to accept those?
Yes.
So moved.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And I would like to personally thank the chair for hosting the Back Business Link Up at the beach and for Pardon Vincent Brown for participating. So thank you, Chair, for hosting that event at the park.
Thank you. That shall conclude the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust
Thank you,
meeting
guys.
for October 9th, 2025. I will see my colleagues October 23rd for our next commission meeting. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.